Is this what it's like to not be a fucking bunny rabbit? Shut up! Oh my god! That wasn't that scary. Wait, am I not doing the right one? No, I think it's the right one. Okay, we're fine. That wasn't that scary.
Carl and Leo are taken in by your crap. You convinced them to play hero, and now they're gone.
PBO is closer. I like the way you think. Alright. Thank you, Ash. Thank you so much. Do you know where they are? I'm sorry that it's my responsibility to be on the backstop. I need to do something about it. Do you know where they are?
Dead for all I know. Or in the cult's tower with the others who are taken.
Are we getting like a little leg right there? Do you guys see that? Like a little leg? Ooh! If they're alive, I'll rescue them.
They're my responsibility.
He's so dramatic!
You go save the world.
They're my
Or your own
responsibility.
arse. Or whatever it is you do. I'll fix this.
Gone! They're dead for all I know! He's so but look, he's looking at me now! He's so dramatic! No, because I actually made it out of there, Astarion. I'll be more careful next time. I brought you back tonight. I thought the Mind Flayer parasite protects you from the light. I think it prefers you as a pile of ash. So this one, right?
Apparently there's a limit. Somewhere between a nice summer's day and the full concentrated power of the sun. Just warn me before you do something stupid. At least then I can get out of the blast radius. Now, shall we go?
Should we go?
Chaos you need to unleash here.
No chaos, just some questions.
Gods. All right. What's on your mind?
So about you biting me.
What more do you want?
Happy Monday. Lundi. Mañana. Oh, is this the same idiot from before? Hold on, let me see. They are. I'm sorry. You gotta go. Hold on, how do I ban you? You're so annoying. Ah, there you are. Oh, no, I'll do it this way so I can have a reason. Hold on. Ban Lemony Water for being an idiot. I'll say weirdo. I'll do that. Like, this person came in last, or not last stream. When did they come in last time? When did they come in last time? March 30th. Do you have a Twitch? Do you stream? This person has Twitch Recap 2025 and Yellow Noob. Okay, so they play Roblox. So I'm assuming that they're 12 years old. Anyways, hi everybody! My mods are going to be so sad that they missed a ban right first thing in the stream. Oh well, it's mine. They can unban them and then reban them if they want. Who is first? Akita's a button, not first. Rex. Akita's a button. Mwah. Jello. Mwah. Petunia. Mwah. Glue Kazoo. Mwah. Rex. Mwah. Spoiler. Mwah. Rooster. Caca. Mwah. Supernova, mwah, Cobalt, mwah, Cayman, mwah, Leon's Bones, yeah, Soul Parrot, caca, mwah, Sushi Guy, mwah, look at, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kisses. I can't believe I'm turning 5. That's really funny. What's up, Glue Kazoo? Hi, Boo Courts. Hi, Leon's Bones. What's up, Norvon? I was the real first. Hold on. When were you here? 5:28 p.m. You know what's funny? I could have had gone live at that point because I was ready at like 5:20-ish. But I was like, that's way too early. I gotta keep like some semblance of a schedule. You did miss a band though, Spades. So, sorry. But everyone say, hi, Spade System! A little gone, mwah, Spades, mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. Happy Monday. How was everybody's weekend? I was everybody's weekend. What's up, Mama J? Mama J, mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Oh, that's right. Moon offers himself as tribute. Such a good, submissive little gamer, Moon Course. Moon Course, I hope you're doing so good. I still have to send you your... You were so cute. He just rested his head right on my lap. That was so cute. Resting, what was I saying? What? I was going to send you and Ginger your letters. I'm going to try to do like a bunch of mail stuff tomorrow, but like no promises. I'm going to try to keep this a short stream. We might end like right after the Gunnar segment because I have so much that I need to do. English, mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Other than the shit show that's been Twitter, I've been chilling, listening to my K-pop music. Well, K-pop music. I saw there was a McDonald's collab with K-pop or something that everyone's like gagged about. Can you move? Move, honey. Move, honey. It's like cat hair everywhere. Or maybe it's you. Happy 5-year birthday anniversary! Thank you! What's up? Yup. Yes! Wait, did you get it, Sushi Guy? Okay, you need to go. Go away. Lay down. What is your problem? Go away. My Twitch channel turned 5 yesterday, and by turned 5, I mean my Twitch partner badge turned 5. So I have officially been partnered on this platform for 5 years. That's pretty fucking cool. I was gonna do a celebration stream today, but it's a Gunnar stream today, and I did not want to do a sponsored stream during my Gunnar, or I didn't want to do a sponsored stream during my celebration. So I have it scheduled for Wednesday, but we could do it this weekend too. Listen, it's Autism Awareness Month, it's Autism Month, and it's my partner anniversary month. This is all about me, all right? I can make the entire month my partner anniversary stream, but I won't. I probably should have done it this weekend, though. I wonder if I could still change it. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can still change it. Can you, like, go away, brother? Go away, brother. Settings. Channel. You know. No, it's stream. Is it stream? Oh, I just did this. Where was it? It had to be channel, right? Oh, yeah, stream events. Can I change it to... Maybe I could do it this weekend. Yeah, maybe I'll do it this weekend. Is that, like, that make more sense? What's up, Nubster? Boo! Yeah, we got Boo, Charles, and Jasper's dressed off camera. Maybe I could do it on Friday. We have D&D this weekend. Yeah, but isn't that before I stream? Isn't it D&D before I stream? Enjoy your lurk. Dangos. They go the forehead kisser. To get into NHPen, but just can't. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what NHPen, TXT, or Twice is. Is that like a Minecraft thing? Oh, I didn't know if you were wanting to do like a longer stream, go live earlier than usual. Well, I don't know. I might just put it on Friday. And then just celebrate the whole weekend, you know? You stream Pixel, I'll cover your character. Ah! You know, I would trust you. I would totally trust you to do that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna start on Friday instead. Oh, that's nice, because then that gives me, like, some extra time to, like, to do stuff. You know, I'm okay with that. Hi, Kels! Kels, you are so hot and tall and talented and handsome. Did you know that? You're so hot and tall and talented and handsome. Oh, Ice is in the song by P1H, not like fuck Ice. For legal reasons, I won't take a screenshot of that for blackmail. Oh, it's K-pop. Oh, you're speaking in K-pop bands to me. I don't know. I thought they were talking about like SMP things for Minecraft. What am I playing? Spades. What character am I? Fuck Ice, but like, can we also get a fuck Cancer in chat today? Today is the birthday of one of my very, very, very dear friends, and they're no longer with us because of cancer, and I already had to cry about it. I might cry again today. But yeah, fuck Cancer, man. Fuck Ice and fuck Cancer. Yeah. So, if you guys saw me say happy birthday to Aya in the Discord, that was who it's for. Also, the Pix haha emote was made for them, too, by the way. You're a tiefling druid. See, that's what I was gonna say. Thanks, mates. Hey, what level are we? Are we level 4? Why does my voice sound so deep today? Does my voice sound deep today? I kind of like it. But quite literally, fuck Cancer. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, did you guys see that? Wait, hold on. Fuck Cancer. Look at this. Look. Got this expensive ass bourbon. The fuck Cancer edition. And my brother picked this up for me. So, thanks, Pixel Bro. So yeah, fuck Cancer. You do sound a little deeper. I don't know. Maybe it's because I literally just cried. I don't know. Or it's my first time talking in like 24 hours. I don't know. Dolly Pixie Bro. I mean, I paid for it. Yeah, Dolly Pixie Bro. He did pick it up. So yeah, this is the Penelope blend of straight whiskeys. Barrel strength. 114.6 proof. And 57.3%. And it is the special fuck Cancer ball. So it's really cool. We do have a fuck Cancer stream scheduled, I believe, in July. So I think I'm gonna save this and take a shot of that out of this in July. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yummy youth. I'll show you deeper. Oh, Kitty Cat Cows, do exclamation point self-report. Oh yeah, yeah, what Spade said. Yeah. There it is. There she goes. Oh my god. Charlie, I almost whacked you on the head with that. Fool me 3 times. Guys, before we start our Gunnar segment, what G Fuel am I drinking today? I have our very pretty spring shaker. So pretty, I love it. I want to put these in my mouth, but I won't. That top comeback, though. I don't know who these K-pop artists mean. I think I saw a TNT or TXT. I hear my Peen A Lope because I've never heard that before. Blue Ice? I have no clue where that would be. You know what's funny, Spades? I still have all of my G Fuel organized in their mix all my G Fuel together stuff because I still have to do that video. I'm so bad. Can you go away? You gotta go away. You gotta go away. I love you, but you gotta go away. Please. Hold on. Blue Eyes? Oh, shut up. The first fudging one I pick up. Hell yeah. Blue Ice. But it's not a 2.0 formula. I guess it's okay. Do they have a 2.0 formula in Blue Ice? YPC! Mwah, my little nutmeg. Mwah. Think of the forehead kiki. Panda monster. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. What was my original first favorite G Fuel flavor? Out of the 3 original ones, Blue Ice, lemon lime, fruit punch. But not because I didn't like fruit punch or lemon lime. It's just all 3 of them are really good. All 3 of them are really good, but just Blue Ice is just like supreme, man. I love me some blue raspberry. And then the Unk that just came out is the lemon lime flavor, and there's like 1,000,001 fruit punch flavors, but like there's just like an OG fruit punch flavor oot and about. It's like rebranded as something though. This is okay, yeah, that's Blue Ice. Yeah, oh, Spades, because you had the had/have the crystals of them, right? Oh, my man. Good choice, Spades. Good choice. Happy 5 years. Thank you! Yesterday was my 5-year Twitch partner anniversary. I was too tired to post about it, though, so. I was originally going to celebrate on Wednesday, but you know what? The weekend's probably better to get. You guys are so smart. That's why I keep you guys around. Does 5 years make your partner badge unk? Shut up. Maybe. What about it? Oh my god. I hope you guys had such a good weekend. Did that answer your question, though, Leon Spoons? Okay. Oh, look at how pretty that is, Spades. Oh, she's so pretty. Yes? Okay, good. Oh my god. It's almost as pretty as you are, Moon Cards. Oh, so this was, I don't think you can get this anymore. But this was the Guilty Gear. I don't know, is this an anime or something? I don't fudgy know. But there's like a heaven and hell, like, thing, or collab or something. Focus! There we go. And it's a blue raspberry flavor. There's like a bunch of blue raspberry rebranded. Like there's one of the Atari ones that was like rebranded too. I'm sorry, I gotta change my calendar. Hold on. Do you guys like my Lord of the Rings calendar that I have to do? Oh, is it foggy? Supernova! Thank you so much for the 2 months. Enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes, free view, and so badge. Isn't this so cute? So this is the calendar that I have. I just have sitting on my desk. Oi, Jamoy. Hi, Alice! Happy Autism Month! Give treats! Dog treats. Please tell me you want to give them to the dog. If you ever see me start up stream this week despite not going live for months, you know it's because I'm procrastinating my cosplays for this week's con. Wait, what are you cosplaying this week? Doggies? Thank you. Thank you came in. Also Capricorn. Mwah. Think of the forehead kiss. See, guys, go get some sub hype. Supernova, thank you so much for the heckin' honkin' hooter and 2 months. I really appreciate that. Come here. I know you're not lazy today. I know. Bother the hell out of me today. Oi, Jamoy. Thank you guys so much for being here. Aw, thanks for the hype, guys! You guys are so hot. Oh, let me change my guffle of the day. Friday is Marionette, Saturday is Tomy. Oh, shut up. And Sunday is Button Coraline. Shut up. That's so cool. What convention? Enjoy your lurky turkey, Alice. I love you. Everyone tell Alice how much you love them or you're going to get banned. Spades, make it happen. Sorry, I didn't mean to look so angry. But, like, seriously. Please don't ban me, amazing streamer. I want to be on the next stream. Astronomicon. We got Cheech and Chong. Shut up. That's so funny. What are you knocking over, Jojo? Is blue ice. I'm gonna say blue raspberry because now I'm like, now I don't want to say ice. No. It's blue. Ah! Oh my god. Why would you stab your long ass dragon talon nails into my leg? That was so okay. Someone's gotta get their nail trimmed. Space, please ban me. I've been asking for so long. Oh, look at you're so hot. What the heck? Today's G-full of the day is blue ice. But like fuck ice. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, there's so many messages I have to respond to, guys. I'm just such a bad friend. I'm so bad. So it's gonna be a short stream today. Let me open up the Gunnar stuff to see if they're here. There they are. She do be alive? Me? Measure responding, not me. Oh, it doesn't? We could try again, Spades, if you want. Oh, StreamYard changed their logo? What the fudgies? Hi, sweetie! Sweetie! Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Not to do what I have done. Alright, I'm gonna change my audio settings over. What's up, Mighty? of the rising sun. All right, I'm changing my audio settings over, so I'm not gonna hear any. Oh, there goes my voice. So I'm not gonna hear any audio stuff. So sorry about that. Spartan, mwah, sweetie, mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. So I'm talking about my friend. Did I self-deprecate? Is that the right word? Deprecate? Did I say something bad about myself? I don't remember doing that. You guys can't prove that. You guys can't prove that I said that is the the nicest partner on Twitch. I don't know about that. But thanks. Yeah, 5-year Twitch partner anniversary. Can you guys believe it? It's been 5 years. I think the reason why I didn't really have anything planned or anything special is because, and I say this, I say this every year, and you guys could probably go back and look at my VODs on my VOD channel. Subscribe. I literally, every year, I just assume that, like, no one gives a fuck. And it's not a you guys thing. It's a me thing. I just assume that no one gives a fuck about, like, me or my streams or me being partnered, even though, like, it's such a huge achievement and I should be proud of myself that I did do this 5 years ago and I'm still streaming. Because, like, raise your hand if there's people that you used to watch 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago that don't stream anymore, you know? And it's not for, like, any bad reason. Like, they could have just, you know, moved on, right? But I don't know. I think I have to just stop with the trauma of, like, downplaying my achievements, because raise your hand if you've had friends or family or close people in your life make you feel like shit for celebrating achievements. Oh, but then when they had something to celebrate, you had to make the biggest deal about, even though they never cared about anything that you said, and they would purposely downplay you and make you feel gaslit and make you feel like you didn't deserve the things that you achieved because they didn't achieve them because they were super jealous of you, and reflecting upon that makes it so obvious now, but at the time you just thought you were a bad friend, but it was really them who was a bad friend? Really niche, but raise your hand. I'm sure almost every single person has had something like that in their lives, which is really unfortunate. The stream burnout, yeah. It happens, man. Raise your hand if you have friends. Oh, you guys are my friends. What about me, Panda Pants? Raise his hands higher. Raise his hands so high it goes through my ceiling. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Panda Pants, that's what I'm saying. I can offer you a lip gloss in this trying time. It's a Jolteon lip gloss. Looks at my hand. Who did that? both my hands, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, here's my olive branch, and it's just a Jolteon lip gloss. Because I despise people. Ugh, real. You guys are the only ones I hang out with. What's up, Naughty Space? Wait, IO Kissies. The people came in. Dragon Set Ablaze. Danger Dan. Thank you for the forehead kisses. Other than friendship, though I do love Jolteon. Is Jolteon your favorite evolution? Guys, favorite evolution, go. I like go between Vaporeon and Flareon, but I feel like my knee-jerk is to say Vaporeon. I do love me Flareon, too. Not in space. Look at the forehead kissy. I totally didn't get a kissy. You're right, sweetie. Sorry, I burped. I'm really working out in masking this year, but man, I have had that incident and the trigger. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for triggering everybody with that. Too niche. But I don't know. I hope it goes well for you. Let me know how it goes for you, and then give me any advice that you have. Umbreon, wow, takes the cake. Leafeon, Adri. Leafeon's so good. Also, shout out to NASA, who's been watching the Artemis 2 stuff on Twitch. That's been really cool. That's been pretty heckin' cool. Leafeon or Sylveon, Umbreon girlies, hell yeah. Your favorite evolution is Cubone? That's a right, Moon. I speak in fluent typo. Espeon and Umbreon. Oh, so gold and silver was a big moment for you. I love Flareon. Hell yeah. I really want one of those giant life-size evolutions. Aren't they like $700, $800? Why is your face? Oh, that was your nose. I was like, why is your face wet? I didn't realize I put his nose. Banana flavored lip gloss. Ooh, I love banana flavored things. That sounds nice. I should show you guys. I actually did film an entire unboxing of the entire, like, Pokemon Color Pop collection. Like, all of it. Like, the lip glosses, the blushes, the chapstick, the eye product. What's it called? Eyeshadow palette. And I filmed an entire unboxing, but I never, like, edited or posted it. I should probably do that. You're good, but the trigger is real nice to you. Oh man, I'm so sorry. For anyone who has had, like, horrible friends, like I just mentioned a little bit ago in the past, or even now, I'm so sorry. People suck. Oh, whatever, DJ. And my mother is amazing. Thank you. I love banana. What were you gonna say, Panda Monster? What's up, Remy? Remy, what's your news? I have not had a slushy or a Slurpee, whatever you guys want to call them. I have not had one of those in years, Spartan. But I have had a banana flavored one. I think it's been like, it has to have been over 10 years since I've had a banana one. But I know I've had one and it was so good. You've had your Twitch for a year? Shut up, Remy. That's awesome. Happy year anniversary. Oh, it was bullies? Still, they suck. Alice, I'm here if you ever need anybody. We're all here for you. Mad-Eye, what's up? Everyone say, ahoy, Mad-Eye. You have a Cubone tattoo? Shut up. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. I would love like a little Clefable tattoo. I think that'd be so cute. Just a slutty little one. Well, not a slutty one, but you know, just like a little Clefable. I think it'd be so cute. I just want a tattoo. I need to pay my tax. I need to do my taxes. Oh, I have 9 days left. Ah! I have 9 days left to do my taxes. I had my Twitch account and been streaming for 5 months. Oh, have you really? What have you been streaming? Not in space. Have you been watching the NASA stuff? I'm only asking because you have space in your name, so I don't know. I assume that you like space. Slurpee is a nickname my boyfriend gives me. Girl. Call of Duty, which one? There's like a million. Oh, and Siege? Okay, cool. And I keep forgetting to take my W2 to my mom's friend's house. Oh, do you have someone that helps you? I need to start doing my taxes quarterly. That's what I need to start doing. Because, fun fact, if you're unemployed, like me, and you work, like you're a streamer, and you're, like, self-employed, and you don't do this shit quarterly, you have to pay so much more, by the way, because you have to pay in fees. Fun fact. Yeah, I found this out, like, 3 years ago, and I still haven't done it, because I have to talk to people in order to do it quarterly, and I have really bad anxiety. So it's like I'd rather pay the hundreds of dollars in fees than talk to people. That's how bad my anxiety is.
Just your friendly
Hello?
stalker. You're amazing.
Shut up. Whatever. Chelsea, thank you so much for the 54 months. Is that 54 months? Thank you so much, Chelsea, for always having the same name color, because no one else has that name color, and it was easy to read with my glasses off. So thank you so much for the 54 months. Enjoy your 90. Count them. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and your sub edge. You are so hot and tall and talented and handsome. And I love you and hope you're doing amazing. I can't believe it's been a year already. That's awesome. I hope you're enjoying your time on Twitch. Black Ops 7, 1042. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. That's awesome, not in space. Hell yeah. I used to be a Call of Duty YouTuber. Why is that so me, though? Wait, what was it? Oh, the paying fees instead of talking to people? I have social anxiety issues. Same. Hi, Willie! Willie, I hope you're doing so good. I hope you're doing amazing. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had the best weekend ever. That's our 6th baby! And thanks for remembering my name color. Thanks for remembering me. What do you mean? What? What do you mean? Thanks for remembering me. Really? Alice. Oh my god. Yeah, because I don't even know, like, the steps to take to even start. I have to start, like, paying attention. Oh, God. Ugh, I hate doing my taxes. They happen the same time every year. They're due the same time every year. Nothing ever changes. And yet I still, it's a mess. It's fine. I think it's just because, like, I have, like, the ADHD and the ADHD paralysis and anxiety, and I'm broke. And so doing taxes is super stressful because every year I have to pay, what was, like, $4,000, $6,000. Last year I think it was, like, $7,000 or $8,000. It was a lot. 2 years ago was 6,000. Last year was 7,400 or 7,600. One of those. It's just a lot. It sucks. And I do not have that money. So it's gonna take it out my credit cards. Anyways, awesome boy. Mwah, Remy. Mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. My Aspire 2 addiction. I only have one unlockable story piece left out of how many. I've never played it. My Twitch channel picture because it has a dog that passed away 2 years ago from cancer, so I don't start crying when I look at it. Oh my god, I totally understand. Like, you could always, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna try to give you advice. I was gonna say, like, you could put like a panel in your channel because then other people can see it, but you don't have to see it. Because I never look. I don't know about you guys, but I never look at my channel. I probably have stuff on my channel that I probably you know what, let me look at my channel right now. Because I never look at my channel. I probably have, like, some, I don't know, Dice Stream sponsored thing on it, and I should probably take it off. But, hold on. Oh, I see my tags. Okay, no, I see my tags all the time, though. Hold on. Sorry, it's loading. It takes a long time to load on bad internet. Okay. I guess I could take this off, the grab tap thing. I guess it's not too bad. You know what? This profile picture has been my profile picture since 2024. My Twitch profile picture. Should I update that? I don't know. I don't want to update my profile picture. I like that picture. I'm actually the same. I have the same hair. I got my hair in the same style as my profile picture. How fun. I just started a new antidepressant that helps with anxiety, but one of the side effects is worse than anxiety for the first couple weeks. What? Okay, so you haven't had it help you yet, but it's only gotten worse so far, but allegedly it should get better. You're eating cake? What flavor cake? Oh, I'm so glad your leg healed. Oh, hell yeah. I'm so happy for you. And I can totally help you out because I hate taxes, but IRL scares the shit out of me. IRL scares the hell out of me. That's why I try to do everything by the books. It was like the worst thing I could ever be is audited because I don't know. I'm so scared that I'm going to do something wrong, which is actually why I have my VOD channel is because, like, I don't know. I bought this pickle for stream, right? And I claimed this on my taxes because this $7.99 pickle, or I don't even know how much this was. Maybe it was $15. I don't know. But I bought it only for stream, so this is tax deductible. 100% tax deductible because it's something I got for my business and for my stream. And I love my VODs because say someone like is like, the IRS guy, this is clearly fraud. You're faking it. This is this is a fake purchase. You didn't get this for your stream. Like, and I'll pull up on my VODs and be like, look, I use it here, and here. I never use it upstairs. So, anyways, but yeah, that's one of the reasons why I love my VOD channel. So that if God forbid should I ever get audited, I have proof of using all this stuff on my channel. If for any of the stuff I claim. I got to meet new people here and you. I'm joking. Oh. Thanks, Remy. I'm glad. Lucky Pickle. Mystical Pickle. Should I? Okay. Oh, Mystical Pickle. Should Moon Quartz work on what he needs to work on?
Not today, sucker!
Put that shit down. And you start playing Pokopia or whatever you're playing. Right? Overwatch. Go play Overwatch. I don't know. Let me think about it, Alice, because I have anxiety. Let me get through this year's taxes first, and then I'll let you know. And it's not a you thing. It's just like even my mom and my sister-in-law asked me to set up a date with them, and I'm just like, I can't. It's not you. It's I can't do any scheduling stuff right now. But the side effects I have at the moment are worsting. Oh my god. They should go away. Okay, well hopefully they do. Oh, nom. I'll wait. L ads. L streamer plays ads. A pickle of truth. I'm not smart enough for me to move the picture into your panels. Oh, you just click on the panel, edit panel, and then add image, and you just drag it in there. Out of 67? Also, thank you for the follow. So sorry. I got distracted. Thank you so much for the follow. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you, and I appreciate you. Also, Nom, the ad should be done, so Nom Nomming. Thank you for the forehead kissy. And Panda, do you want cat or dog treats? Thank you. Alice. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening, Dandy. Everyone say good evening. Dandy, hope you're doing so good. Hi, Raven! Everyone say hello, Raven. Oh, I'm so sorry. Panda Monster. Give me treats. Wait. Looks like he needs his dose of treats. I read that as Jasper needs his dog of treats. Go away. Go. Jasper, come here. Jasper, come. No. Go. Jasper, come here. It's okay. He won't eat you. Say thank you, Panda Monster. Also, I'm sorry if I missed anyone's messages. I don't know how to read. Everyone say, hi, Raven! Hi, Raven. I hope you're doing so good. I'm gonna new enter present, but I've tried damn near every one on the market. What is this one working for you, Spade, so far? Also, Raven, I thought of you, and then I got really sad. Hold on, stay with me. So, apparently, House Flipper was on sale, and by sale, I mean free, this past weekend on Steam. And I wrote it down on my to-do list to download it for free on... I don't know why. I'm not sure if you've played House Flipper, but in my head, you have. So, okay. And yeah, well, I wouldn't know because apparently it ended yesterday. Yesterday was the last day to get it for free. And so I was a day too late because I did not come to my basement yesterday. So shout out to everyone who got House Flipper for free. Must have been nice. Oh, it was? Okay. I was like, I want to say that was you that did the House Flipper. Okay. So yeah, I was so excited. I wrote it down on my to-do list of things to do, and I never did it because I thought I had until the end of the day today, and I didn't. It was the end of the day yesterday, so I'm so sad. Too early to tell. Okay, gotcha. You know I'm sleepy? You're getting very sleepy. Oh, really, Spartan? Oh. 57? Sesame Street failed me. I'll poo. Also, we are going to be live with Gunnar momentarily, if not already. So everyone say, hi, Gunnar Optics. We are officially live with Gunnar. I have so many House Flipper DLCs. Yeah, apparently the base game was free. Oh, wait, someone said... Wait, hold on. I missed a message. Yo! Gioy Jingles. I feel like I pronounce your name differently every single time I see you. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for the 5-year anniversary. Wishes! Yesterday was my 5-year partner anniversary. But we're going to celebrate this weekend. What's up, awesome boy? Awesome boy, thank you for the 10 stream streak. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. What's up, Loki? Everybody say, hello, Loki. Loki, just in time for the Gunnar Optics. Also, Loki, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Hi, Gun. Oh, that's so cute. I like that. Also, remember, I was like, hey, guys, tell me... Oh, hello. Hey, guys, tell me what Gunnars I should ask for. Well, along with the fact that I haven't answered any DMs for the past year, I also haven't answered an email, so I haven't sent an email, so... Yep. So I have not asked for any stuff from Gunnar, but I'll get on it. Susie! Thank you for the forehead kissy. But... if you guys were curious, there are some sales going on right now. Actually, I think it's the same sales as before. What, 20% off prescription? I think the mystery box is still going on, right? And the mystery box is still going on too. Heatley, get the hell out of here. What? Heatley! So, Heatley. Oh my god. I saw that I got a message from you. I have not looked at it yet. I hope it's not, like, super important. If it's really important, I'll check it right now. But, everyone say hi, Heatley. I hope you're doing so good, homie. Thanks for the jump scare. You just reminded me to rebook an appointment. I still need to do an appointment so bad. You know what? Everything, you know what? I'll do everything after my taxes. After my taxes, we'll figure it out. To make me proud? Was it something you did? Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you and I appreciate you. Oh, and we are going to get into some Outlast trials momentarily. What I did... Oh, now I'm curious. You've piqued my interest. Guys, he at least being nice to me. You can play that game. Guys, everyone go tell Healy how hot and tall and talented and handsome he is. Oh! What the fudge? I marked it as unread so I could respond to it later. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I was checking something. All right. Okay. Jasper, can I help you? Don't lie to me. Shut up. I would never lie about you ever. Also, I think there's like something shaking in my headset. There's like something loose in there. Because I move my head. And I hear something moving. Oh, we're just starting now. Okay, everyone say hi, Gunnar. We already started. My bad. All right, so can you guys do that thing again where you guys say hi, Gunnar? All right, say it now. I'm joking. You guys don't have to. Which Fallout glasses, Matt? Because there's the Brotherhood of Steel, which has been like a lot of people are really upset. And, like, I understand, but like things happen. There's the Brotherhood of Steel, and then there's the Lucky 38s. Oh, cool. Good. Oh, oops. Okay, whatever. Hi, 2.0 Gunnar. What's up, Squishy Panda? Squishy Panda, happy Monday. Oh, thanks, Squishy. No, you. Loki, thank you for the 100 stream streak. Can we get some? I don't think there's anything wrong with the Brotherhood, but this was supposed to ship in like January, and then it was supposed to ship in like March, and then it was supposed to ship in April, and now it's shipping in May. And it's funny, like every single Facebook like ad that I see on Gunnar, it's just people like saying like, guys, where's my stuff? And like, I totally get it. I get it because it's been like 3 to 4 months that people have been waiting. Like, I understand. It should be like a pizza, you know? Say it'll be delivered in August, but it's really gonna be delivered in May, so people know to wait. But oh yeah, the clicks were, yeah, delayed a little bit too. I remember that. Anubis, mwah, think of the forehead kissy. They were worth it though. Yeah, I really need to ask for the clickses because the clickses are actually really pretty, and I want to see them in person and show you guys too. But thank you so much for the 100 stream streak, Loki. That's very huge. I'm attempting KTS on intensive by myself again. Oh, kill the snitch! Try for at least A this time. I actually, fun fact, Nubster, he just reminded me, because I am going to do some Outlast trials. Our category is not a lie. I am going to do some Outlast trials today. I was thinking of doing some, so I wanted to try, I'm going to fail, but I wanted to try an intensive game by myself and see how I do, because I've never done an intensive solo. And I know it's going to suck. What's up, Dwayne? Dwayne, mwah, thank you for the forecast, and thank you. I got this from Forever 21, like 12 years ago. I love it. They're light and they feel so nice, really? Well, Mad-Eye, unless... You know what? Mad-Eye, what are you doing tonight? You better not be at work! Because I'm about to ask you something. But these are the glasses I really want. I mean, of course I really want the Brotherhood of Steel. These are sick! These are sick! But I really, really want the Lucky 38s. You're home? What are you doing tonight? Really? I suck at Kill the Snitch, though. Like, I need everyone and their mother to do everything for me. We'll see. I haven't decided what level I want to do yet. Maybe I just won't even do it. Mad Eye and their evil twin, Calm Nose. You know what? I made War Is Here make a War Is There account because of that. Oh my god. Watch your stream, silly. You playing any games tonight? Talk about falling and then not being able to chat. I was fighting with Twitch. Oh, I'm so sorry, Chaotic Looney! I have that extra, those extra settings because people aren't nice to me on the internet. But welcome it. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Everyone say hello, Chaotic Looney, because they just went through hell and back to try to get the chat. So you guys better say hello. On the car radio. Is anyone else going to be in the car? Should I, like, be careful? You need, like, 8 warnings before watching the stream. I've been doxxed. I've been hate rated. I've been swatted. So, you know, I'm a fat autistic woman on the internet, right? I'm a fat autistic gay woman on the internet, so. Where's Moon Courts? Ma, pick a struggle. So, yeah, I do have the verification steps. I'm sorry. Cataclysm, you're not the only one. I'm so sorry. No? Okay, good to know, Raven. I love you for everything you are. Thanks, Dwayne. Also, no you. Also, I have to sneeze, so can someone say bless you so I don't sneeze. I'm trying so hard not to sneeze. Oh, I'm trying so hard. Pomegranate, kumquat, pineapple, honeydew melon, cantaloupe, watermelon. I'm verified. Good, I'm glad. I hope you don't change your phone number, though, because I heard that that's hell to change or to go through. Bless me. No. Oh my god, Meta, you're so fine. Also, no pressure. No pressure expectation. I was going into this expecting to do some solo dolos. Maya! Think of the forehead kiss. See, all of the above. Yeah. All of the above. I hate sneezing. I hate it. Sneezing pisses me off. I hate it. Alright, I'm gonna open up the game. So I'm not, like, yapping too much. Oh, actually, I'm gonna open up DBD really quickly. Do you guys mind? Oh, you guys don't mind, right? I got the email for the... Congratulations on 1,000 trials completed. And so I'm going to enter in that code to redeem my 1,000 trials badge. And then we'll get into DBD. Or to... Outlast trials. Sorry. What if I did mine? I hate sneezing! No, that's too many battles, put some back. What if I did mind? I'll have Spades ban you again. Yeah, wouldn't like that, wouldn't you? I hope no one's confused when they come in the stream like, why are you playing Dead by Daylight? Outlast Trials. I just need to put in a code. Sunny! Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. You would like it? I bet you would. Naughty moon. Oh, I just sat down hearing ban who am I banning? Moon Courts. To shock of nobody, Moon Courts. Also, I know I'm on the DBD. I know I'm gonna redeem this code and then I'll go back to Outlast Trials. I promise. I'm sorry. You want Loki to ban you? Only if Loki wants, though. Only if Loki wants. Alright, I already did my claiming today. Okay. Alright. So, happy 1,000 trials. Quick! Someone get the code before me! I'll give you 10 seconds. I'm joking. Imagine someone just typed that in, like, super quickly. 1,000 badge, only for those who are truly hashtag 1,000. No, Tom! No! Unless you want. I'm gonna do Outlast Trials. I know. Get our hopes up. Okay, good. Oh, you said okay, good? Yeah, I didn't really want to be on DBD today. Why? Should I not? Wait, what do you know that I don't? Oh! Yeah, I literally was just saying too, Thomas. Like, I wonder if I want to confuse people by being in the Outlast Trials, but like I'm opened up DVD. I just really wanted to get my 1,000 badge in. You confuse me? Can I help you, child? Oh, crunchy. You got yours the other day? No way! The 1,000 badge? Also, hi, Eclipse! He is so cute, isn't he? Do you guys want him? Also, Marta, mwah, Eclipse, mwah. They go the forehead kiss. Everyone say, hi, Tom! If you guys don't say hi to Tom, then he gets to ban you. Oh, Moody! Definitely gonna have this up while doing laundry? Oh, hell yeah! I actually just got my laundry done. I have not folded it yet, though. Wait, really? Oh, wait, Loki, was that the one that you were missing on your order, by the way? And no, you could do it. You could say whatever you want, Loki. There's things I can't talk about, though. I'm gonna let the pit bulls nip your heels. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Is that still your follow one? Oh, it is? Okay, good. Oh, really? See... I'd almost done that. I'd almost let it get out of control. But I'm actually, I think I'm all caught up now. Oh, Loki, that makes me so happy. Hell yeah. 42 inches! Is that gonna be our POTD, our penis of the day? Can anyone beat 42 inches? I'm watching. Yours will be... Oh, come. Whoa! Tom, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it'd be small. Oh, Dwayne! Oh, Dwayne. Alright, so Tom has the P.O.T. Oh! Loki! Quickly snatching Tom's merkin. Salted Loki has the P.O.T.D. at a 65 inches. Can anyone get bigger than 65? Just started watching The Boys, by the way. I know someone who can get bigger than 65 inches. What's up, Shinobi? Shinobi, mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Listen, Dwayne, I totally agree. It's so good, Moon. So a lot of people are saying, like, a lot of people were warning me that it's super graphic. And it definitely is graphic, but not so bad. Also, I've been playing Animal Crossing while watching it, so I'm sure I've missed a lot of the graphicness and a lot of content. But I'll... Oh, not the... Oh, Loki. We can all be winners, right? Sushi Cat, that's really funny. Not the 1% 5. Yeah, but you have the POTD. Nubster, there's a cooldown. So you just have to, like, sneak it in between the cooldowns. Oh, only a measly 39. Magical chick! Think of the forehead, QC. Yeah, but you got the POTD, though, which is pretty good. Was it 65 inches? But yeah, I've been watching The Boys. I'm on season 3. I just got to the episode, and quote, unquote, Hero-gasm. Don't spoil it for me! I did go back and forth on whether or not I'd share this information with you guys. You guys better not be mean and spoil it for me. Gracie's, think of the forehead kissy. Oh, 3%. That ain't right, Panda Monster. You gotta do that again. Actually, you're vile. You know, vibe isn't bad, right? That was a wild episode. Thank you, B! B, thank you so much. Where can I watch it? I'm watching it on Amazon. There's commercials, but it's not so bad. Oh! Enjoy your dinner, Eclipse! I hope you have the best dinner ever. Whoa! A perfect vibe check. Oh my gosh. Anubis, what the French toast? Hello? Thank you for gifting a subby to Lab Rat and Bloom. What the fudge? Lab Rat, enjoy your 90? Count them. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and your sub badge. What the hecky? Thank you so much, Anubis. That's so nice. Oh! Do it, Tom. I'm drinking some blue ice today, by the way. Per the request of Spades, because it was an excellent request. Already almost a whole week. Can you believe it, Shinobi? Yo, 68% bratty. Also, Haku, mwah, Duncan, mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. Rainbow. Classic Tom. Classic Tom. Factual. Factual. Oh, I should more. Oh. Hello? Why are you so loud? Oh! Do it! Moon, do it. I don't know why it's such an easy watch. I literally started watching it this week and I'm already in season 3. It's such a fast watch. I have been doing a lot of stuff on like the background while I've been watching it, so I'm sure I've missed a lot of stuff, but that's fine. I feel like I have like the main context. Shabby. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. I need more of the chili ones. Wait, what do you need chili of? Chili? Am I saying chili or chill? I can't tell. L's and I's look the same to me. Oh! Enjoy your lurky turkey V. Hello, Princess Shabawishes. Oh my god, I still need to listen to those things that you did for me, Loki. I'm so dumb. Chili mango and chili lemonade. Wait, what are those? What are those from? What are you referencing? I missed it. I'm dumb. Oh, also, reminder that Gunnar has 2 sales. Oh, what? What do you mean? Are those actual flavors? Are those actual flavors? What? What are they? What are they called? Like, what's like their name? Oh, think of the I was gonna say think of the Unk love, because I was gonna say like Unk. Think of the mod love. Shout out to my Unk mods. Oh, spicy demonade. Oh, it was like a Kamosa Dise, not Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat, right? Bye, Dwayne! Dwayne, I hope you have the best time with your nieces and nephews. Yeah, it was Mortal Kombat. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't try that one. Scorpion Steen, that's the one. Yeah, I don't think I have that one, but I do have Spicy Demonade. That one's super fun. It hurts my mouth. It tastes like butt, but it's fun. What was I gonna say? Gunnar has 2 sales going on right now. The 20% off with your 20% off prescription, so you can use your FSA and HSA stuff. Hello, welcome in, Raiders. Cutie pie, thank you so much for the raid. What the fudge? Welcome in, Raiders. How was your stream, Cutie pie? Welcome. What's up, Lemonade? That is a very fun name. Welcome in. Also, thank you so much for the follow. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you. Thank you. What's up, Cutie Pie? How was your stream? Welcome in. We are doing our sponsor stream with Gunnar Optics. So, Gunnar Optics. They are the glasses I'm wearing. And we are playing some Outlast Trials right now because I love Outlast Trials. And there's Twitch drops. And we love free stuff. Yippee! Kari, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Do you guys want to see a cat? Do the Raiders want to see a kitty? Come here. Come. Oh. Oh, he's so fun. He's purring so loud. Okay, that looks like it's really uncomfortable. Sorry. Yay! Happy boy! He says thanks for the rain. He says thank you. Do you want cat treats or dog treats? I'm Squeaky. He's a squeaky boy. My brother was making fun of his sound effects yesterday. He's like, your cat does not make the sounds that he looks like he would make because he's such like a squeaky. He's such a squeaky boy. Thank you! Yes, yesterday was my 5-year partner anniversary, but we're gonna celebrate this weekend. Thank you so much, Kari. He's such a gentleman. He does look very dapper, doesn't he? Do you have any poop on your butt? No, we're good. Okay. I haven't trimmed his butt in a while, so I'm making sure there's no, like, poopies back there. Sorry. You did cat last time, right? You should say dog? Okay. No problem. It's your choice. Your choice. Are you leaving? You staying, you're leaving. These are not for you. These are too big for you, Muffy. These are too big for you. And they're minty. I don't think you like mint. No, cats don't like mint, right? What? All the way. Sit. Pop. Uh-oh. Guess who's coming? Up. Good dog. Good boy. Dog hair everywhere. Cave to my own self-created peer pressure and fight anxiety to learn to play Survivor. Like Survivor and Dead by Daylight? He looks like a distinguished gentleman. He is a good boy. Aren't you a good boy? Well, everyone go follow Cutie Pie. I hope you had the breast stream doing some trying. Thank you so much for the raid. Please get your post-stream self-care. Get your post-stream stretchies, bathroom breaks, namis, and bevies. Go eat, go peek, go poo, go stretch, go drink. We're about to do some Outlast Trials. Oh, I should probably introduce myself. Hello, I'm PixelxKitten. I have been a partner streamer for 5 years as of yesterday. And we do a lot of variety. But recently, it's been a lot of DBD. What was I playing for like a week? Detroit Become Human. That was awesome. That was super fun. No, I'm Not a Human. Outlast Trials. And, I don't know. Whatever I feel like. Cutie Pie! Thank you for the forehead kissy. Oh my god, yeah, I think her name is... I wanted it to be Grace. No. Is it Grace? What? I forgot what her name was. I think I voted for Emogen. But I think her name is Grace. Oh god, I don't remember. Shabby. I want to try one thing. I want to try doing a solo intensive. And if and I'm going to do it just once. I'm going to do just one intensive. Whether I win or I lose, I'm going to do just one level of intensive. Solo. Because I just want to see I just want to see what it's like. And then, yes, absolutely, Shabby, get your booty in here. Right? Moon, I know. Things like that happen like every episode, Moon Courts. It's insane. On God, that happens like every episode. That's why I play Animal Crossing while I'm watching. It's like, yikes, it's kind of a lot. Oh, really? Okay. Well, Shabby, I'll let you know when I'm done. I think I voted for Emogen. I think. Yeah, I know. Moon, let me hold your hand. I'm gonna hold your hand during this. It's a good show, though. I do have things to spend. Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, it's not Easter anymore. I gotta change my outfit. Wait. It's not Easter anymore. Hold your hand was... Oh. Moon! I don't know what else to say. Hold your hand wasn't the right thing to say is great. You haven't paused! Oisha moi. Oh, that was very funny. Shout out to the first episode of The Boys, by the way. If you guys are wondering why I'm laughing. Shout out to the first episode of The Boys. No spoilers, because Moon is literally watching it right now for the first time. So, you guys be on your best behavior. So anyways. Oh, here. I could do... What outfits do I have? Ooh. Ew! 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 What is this? What is this? This is gross. Screenshots? Wait, what do you want a screenshot of? Of the thing that Moon Quartz has paused? I don't know. A-. I'm not gonna... Oh, is it really? An A- is so funny to have on both of them. Oh, this is kind of creepy. Oh, this is the secret one, right? This is the secret outfit. Oh! She's naked. All right, well, we'll roll with this outfit for now. All right. What's up, meow? Screenshots of Mooncore screenshot. Oh, did you really? She sent it to me? Oh, no, I don't want to open it because there's so much I have to respond to you. So I'm gonna leave it open because I have to actually message you like ASAP. To look just like Lilia Wen. Oh my god, wait. So this is like the Lilia outfit, like the secret outfit from her level. But like a Lilia outfit would be so fun. I actually saw a Lilia cosplayer at like, I think it was like one of the C2E2 posts this last month. It was so cool. It was really well done. It was amazing. If I find it again, I don't know where. I'll send it to you. I'm doing so good, meow. Meow, happy Monday. Hope you had a really good weekend. Does anybody celebrate Easter? Did anyone have anything fun to do in Easter? I went to my aunt's house yesterday. I ate a lot of food. And the Heaven or Hell Gunner's box are really good. Oh, Panda Pants. That's literally what I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking Heaven right now. That's so funny. Oh, I played board games. I watched. I got high. I got high. I had one of those THC drinks at my aunt's house. And that's one of the reasons why I ate a lot of food, because I got the munchies. And it was like one of the 10 milligram like THC drinks. It was like raspberry and honeysuckle flavor. It was so fun. And what was I about to say? Yeah, my dad asked me, he's like, what did you think about dinner? I was like, Dad, it was so good, but also I was high. And he goes, oh, okay. I was like, Dad, it was really good. Everything's good when you're high. So that was funny. I also got to see my aunt's cats. So if you guys have me on Snapchat, you guys saw my aunt's cats and how one of them is even bigger than Jasper. Big boy. And yeah, I just ate a lot of food. It was really good. I went to a deviled egg. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to hold on. Went to a deviled egg competition. People come up with fun, creative, and tasty ways to make a deviled egg, and it was fun and delicious. All right. Where was my invite? Where was my invite? I love deviled eggs. Yum 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 yum. Oh, enjoy your lurky turkey. Seriously, Moon. I hope you enjoy watching your the boys. According to your level, you aren't too far from your second relapse. Don't tell me that. Took me so long to get here. But yeah, food is so good when you're high. But yeah, I didn't play any board games, but I watched my family play board games because my dad and I had to go and let the dogs out. Who. Shout out to the Baja Men. And when we came back, I just watched them play some games. It was really fun watching. Now, did you make your own submission, Leon's Moans, or were you there as like a viewer, like an observer? And do you get to like taste them? That sounds like such a fun experience. What the fudgies? Happy birthday, Meow! Everyone say happy belated birthday to Meow! What did you do for your birthday, Meow? Happy heckin' birthday. That's awesome. I hope you had such a good birthday. Wait, what about Scavenger? No. I don't know. Wait, pleasure? Wait, I think I could do that one. I think I could totally do Silence Idol on intensive. I'm so coping. There's no way I could do this. There's no way I could do this. What's my loadout? Heal. I definitely have to do heal. Slippers? No. Reduce sound from running. Use health bottle. Used health bottles to become throwable items? Shut up. Use bricks to smash open padlock. Oh my god, what? Expand your inventory by 1 slot. Using a battery also restores some of the rig's cooldown. Shut up. Shut up. What? Why am I using slippers? The night vision battery graduate. What? Why don't I use these perks ever? I can't wait to see it, Loki. But that's what I said. I told Moon I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, and I'm guessing what the screenshot looks like. And so that's why. You were a taste tester and voter. Oh my god. Were you like, oh, I'm gonna have to go in through seconds just like to taste everything? You're going to go to Disney, or you already did? A very much happy, nice candle. Thank you, cutie pie. The SOS going to enter next year, and I think I might have an entire year to plan it out. Oh my god. So I actually made deviled eggs for the very first time. I actually tweeted about it. And god, it had to be a couple months ago. I don't know. I'm just going to put out a month. Like October, maybe? October, November, maybe? I made my very first deviled eggs. They were pretty good, but I know now what to do differently. But I would love to, like, now you got me keen on looking up different deviled egg recipes. That sounds so much fun. I was so full. Oh man. That sounds like that sounds so good. I've been eating a lot of hard-boiled eggs because of I tweeted out the eggs that I colored for Easter. the Pokemon ones that I colored. My sister-in-law colored some eggs too, some hard-boiled eggs, but she didn't take them home. Hey, Rock Dude, can you hear me right now? It's okay if you can't, because I know you just do your Pokemon thing. Because if no one in the house wants those hard-boiled eggs, and if my mom doesn't want them, I want those hard-boiled eggies. Although, I think I might actually have some extra eggies to hard-boil. I don't know how old they are. But, God, I love hard-boiled eggs. They're such a good snack. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna get rid of slippers. I use slippers too much, and I don't even, like... I don't know. I feel like I jump over everything well enough that I don't need slippers anymore. And I feel like if I'm going to do this on invasive solo, I think I should upgrade it, right? Bricks and bottles are noisier, making them reduce sound from running a door openings. That sounds like a really good one. I'm going to put this on for now. Although, using a battery restores some of your rig's cooldown is great because I have the healing one on. I'll find some pictures. I would love to see that. Also, no pressure or, like, rush or anything, but I would really love to see the different ones. Expand your... Oh, you know what? I think my allergies are really bad today. Maybe that's why my voice is so deep today. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. Maybe that's why my singing in the shower was particularly good today. I'm singing in the shower today. I'm just like, damn. Lockpicking guarantees success in the first try, and each lockpick has 2 uses. Just open your stream and fell back asleep. Oh, Shinobi, you gotta get some rest, homie. You gotta get some heckin' rest. Night vision battery gradually recharges when not in use. I feel like that's so good. Ugh. One extra slot is so nice too. The lockpicking is so nice. Lockpick guarantees success on the first try. I don't know. I might do that because then I don't need the master key. That's basically a master key, right? All right, we're doing that. Evasive maneuver stays on. Boosted stays on. All right. This is the build. All right, we're going in. Oh my god, this is gonna be awful. All right, so I'm gonna do silenced idle. So we're gonna say hi to Bob. Oh, I just realized this means oh my god, you know, oh my god, you know what I just realized now I have to do the puzzles by myself too. I never really do the puzzles because usually I'm out in the hallways distracting the Xbox. While everyone else is doing it. Well, Mr. Ware, mwah, Mira, mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. Everyone say, hello, Mira. Mira, whoever doesn't say hello to you, you can ban them. On my mobile all the time, it's like, oh, say, oh my god. That really, I know it's kind of ironic that people fall asleep to my streams because of how loud and obnoxious I am, but I do have to say, it is very humbling to know that people do fall asleep to my streams. Ban me, Mira. Do it! These allergies are poopy. You know what helps with allergies? Gunnar optics. For legal reasons, that's a joke. But if you guys have your spring FSA and HSA, there is a 20% off prescription glasses sale on Gunnar optics right now. No, my allergies are so bad right now. Like, I feel unwell. Like, does my face, it does look flush, right? Like, I look pinky. My allergies are really bad. My face is actually on fire. I'm actually noticing it's pretty hot right now. Hi, Stanley! Stanley, is that Rootsy on your phone? Everyone say, hello, Stanley! I'll beat you up. Yeah, won't like that. Thank you guys for saying hello to me. I love when you guys say hello to the mods. The mods are so hot and tall and talented and handsome, and they deserve to be said hello to. Alright, get off my screen! I can't see! Collect propaganda posters. I'm actually nervous. I'm actually like high-key, low-key nervous. Alright, I have the heal rig. What is this? I have the heal rig, I'm getting a bunch of heal items. On the day where home feels empty because she's not here. That is so cute. And also similar to how I feel because I also am without my Rootsy, so... I also don't have my Rootsy with me, so I understand. And that's actually really rude of her to be at work, by the way. I'm just saying. What's up, Goddess? Oh, Goddess. Hello, lovely. I hope you guys had such a good weekend. Oh, sorry. I'm getting scared, love. Goddess. Ah! You know what? Oh, okay. You know what? I don't know. I don't know where I don't know if she was inside or outside. I'm not gonna lie. Why your who jumps through a window that way, lady? All right, chill. All right, it's not that serious. Goddess. Mwah. Think of the forehead kiss, see? You can't touch me. No, 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 no. Could it be me? Oh my god, Panda, I literally had a nightmare that I was working my old job. Wait, everyone has to say hi, Bob. Whoever doesn't say hello to Bob gets banned. That's Bob. Everyone say hello, Bob. Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Gabby. Mwah. Think of the forehead kiss. See? Oh, I still need to see that, Shinobi. I'm so jealous. Hi, Bob. Bob, I'm gonna help you get through this. Mutilation time? Oi, Shavoy. But, what was I saying? What am I holding? Oh, drugs. That's what I'm holding. What was I talking about? Wait, who remembers what I was talking about? I gotta scroll up in chat. Oh, the job! I had a nightmare about my old job. The one that I had before this, before streaming. I actually have nightmares about it a lot. It's fine. It is what it is. Bitch. I clearly jumped over that. What do you mean? I just got here! I just got here. All right, intensive sucks. Intensive sucks. I hate it here. Oh my god. What do you mean you're opening the door? Why are we opening doors? There's no reason you need to open a door. What is happening? Maybe they introduced third-person support for this title. Oh, because you get sick, right? Shh. Oh, we're good. Okay. I can't hear you. You can't hear me. Wait. Vice versa. Also, goddess, thank you for the 5 stream streak. What the fudgies? I hear breathing. I hate when people breathe around me. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do this? How? Who? You know what? Okay. All right. Can I? Let me use my rig! Okay. All right. We can talk about this. Huh. Onk. I said hi to Bob! Raven, that's why you're my favorite. That's why you're my good little girl. Yeah, close that door. Close that door. Woo! LOS. Break line of sight. Don't go back in there! Such a cheater! Go over there. Alright, now go over there. Yo, this game sucks, guys. What the fudge? Okay, for the record, I always wear Crocs and socks. For the record, also, that was for a bit. Whatever, hater. Okay. And I'm also wearing it right now. Nubsters, I literally thought that after I already loaded in. You take my breath away? Well, that doesn't sound healthy. I'm literally wearing socks and Crocs right now. You're such a hater. I hear something? Yeah. I keep hearing things. Oh! Let me in! Hide! Alright, we're hiding right here. We're hiding right here. Oh, don't forget that. I have to wear Crocs and socks unless you want me to smell my feet. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat, right? You don't own Crocs? What's it like being uncomfortable all day, every day? In your own house? F12. F12. Please tell me that door's not up here, right? That door's not up here? Okay. It's a Jaeger! You're joking! You're absolutely joking! I don't want to play this game anymore. This game is stupid. A Jaeger just came out. Do you know what Jaegers do? They only chase one person. You're joking. You're absolutely joking. This is a stupid game. This is a really stupid game. Girly Pop! You gotta go away from me! Do Jaegers go away? Do they go away? Or this is gonna be here the entire time? I don't like this. You need to go away. You really need to go away. This sucks. Okay, out the window, brother. All right. Come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. Time to go. Time to go. Come on, Bob. Oh, God. DVDs. Why? Why sound? Why sound? Why sound? Ah, sound! Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I hate this game. The Jaeger. She's stupid. She's stupid. I'm nearby version. I own 5 different colors of the same pair of shoe. I have 2 pairs of Crocs in different colors. Hello. You are very scary. Why do you have like the Elon Musk body? Like you see like the top of their body? Like it's got like the Elon Musk type body, you know what I'm saying? This is scary. I don't want to play this anymore. Shabby! Shabby, I don't want to play this anymore. Oh! Wait, hold on. Collect 3 posters. Got it. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, I didn't stun you. You need to get stunned. Oh, okay, hold on. Get stunned. Get stunned. There we go. Okay. Ah! Lady. I can't jump vertically. I'm too white. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Oh, magical chick! Thank you for the 100 bits. What the fudge? You're too white. I can't jump vertically. Yeah. To be fair, I only died because this game sucks. Because I was jumping perfectly. Return therapy. I don't want to. Wait. Can I go home? Don't let me out! Ah! Wait. Does my Jaeger disappear? Okay, is this guy cheating? He's cheating. He's cheating. He's spawn camping. Oh, my stuff is here. Wait, come here. Okay, bye. Is my Jaeger gone? Yeah. Look at you. Alright, where are the bottles? I need, like, bottles. Oh, my God. This guy sucks. Hold on. Hold on. She's got moves? She's got moves? Magical chick? Thank you for the prime sub! Enjoy your 90, count them, your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and add your sub badge. Also, Jordan, thank you for the forehead kissy. What the fudgies? Alright. I can do this. Okay. Why? No, why? Who's here? Do you think he saw me? I think the Jaeger goes away if you die. You know what? I got through part 1. I think that's a win. Okay. Oh, no, don't turn you, don't turn. Shut up, Bob. Bob, literally shut up, Bob. Ah! Oh. Okay, hold on. Ooh! Why are you so fast? Why you come fast? Enjoy your lucky turkey, Stanley! Rebirth done? Okay, so you're telling me that I should quit? I should leave? I should exit the game. No, I don't like this. I don't like doing intensive on my own. I don't like this. On my own. This guy has anger issues. Never give up, never surrender. Acardi, I'm gonna give up and I'm gonna surrender. I'm giving up and surrendering. Do you mind? Also, thank you guys so much for the follows. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you and I appreciate you. Alright, he's done. He's done. He's good. He's good. He's good. Right, I'm just gonna move her out of the way. I'm just gonna move her out of the way. So she's no one's problem. Alright. Alright. Light, camera. Light, camera. Okay. I can do that. I can do that. That's so easy. That's so easy. No, you stay put! What are you playing? Playing Outlast Trials. Outlast Trials. Oh, actually, do you mind going back one? Thank you. While you're in a trial because, oh, wait, really? You get, people can join mid-trial? Wait, hold on. Shabby, what are you doing? Oh, wrong way, idiot. Wait, wrong way, idiot! Oh, actually? That's fine, this can go here, right? Right? No, that's right. Thank you, though. That's the thing. Why am I being chased? I'm not Bob. You don't have to hurt me anymore. Oh, Bob! You'll be fine. Someone else just joined the fray. I was thinking, okay, this game, is it a story mode game? No, it's a horror co-op. I guess horror co-op would be the best way to describe it, right? I don't know, someone else might have a better description for me. Let go of it, you stupid freak! I don't know why I won't let go. Okay. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna actually crash out. I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna let go of it! I'm gonna freak out! I heard someone behind me. Shabby's here. Shabby, help me. It wouldn't turn. Okay. Alright, I was about to freak out. Shabby, no way you're here right now. We are at intensive, and I'm not having a good time. Shabby, do you mind? Do you mind doing everything for me? Oh, look, I did this. Look at what I did, Shabby. Look, be proud of me. Oh, I hope you're so proud. Yeah, got it. Thank you. You know, it's actually better if you have that. No, it's better if you have it. It's all right. Thank you. Take it if you want it. Oh, no, you have it. You have it. M24. Oh. J13. B5. Jesus. This game sucks. I'm like literally so stressed out right now. Honestly, I'd love to see a media literacy class of some kind do a study of this game. I would love to see that too. Only time I've seen the menu for the options in the map. Oh, is it? Okay, thank you guys for letting me know that we can have people join mid-game. That's awesome. Nubster, you want a third? Hold on. Oh. Bob, excuse you. Here, I'll give you the big health. Yeah. Yeah, Nubster, if you want, get in here. Okay. Actually, without the Jaeger being here, this game's a lot less stressful. Because it's just, having the Jaeger here just really sucks. Oh, more bottles. Can I do this? Only one? Yeah, that wasn't worth it. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, not Gas Man. What do you mean two? You're joking. Why did two people just come out? What's a Night Hunter? Isn't Night Hunter one of the things with the thingies? Oh, okay. Alright, well, I'm leaving. Otaku. Mwah, think of the forehead, kissy. Night Hunter's one of those people that has night vision, right? There's no way he saw me. He can't see in the dark. Okay, we're good. Holy moly. This game is so scary. Oh, I don't want that. I wanted a bottle. Yeah, give me a bottle. Alright, I have a bottle. I also didn't grab any batteries because I was scared. So I think I only have 2 batteries on me. Ooh! Oh! I want this. Yeah. Oh my god. Hi. Oh, thank you! I'll give you a bottle for that. If you see any... Ooh, I'm picking this for me. If you see any, lock boxes, let me know. No, you're good, Nubsters. You're good. You're good, Nubbies. Nubster. Nubbalicious. Nubbalicious, defalicious. Make the boys go loco. Holy. Yeah, you do that. Yes! Disarm! Oh, it's perfect because we'll have another battery right here. This is great. Oh. Is there one in here? No. Okay. Oh! A battery. Perfect. Battery right there. Give me a hand here. Oh. Give me a hand here. What? Yo, Haku! Thank you for the 7 stream streak? Wait. There you go. Thank you so much, Haku, for 7 streams. That's right, fake Shabby. No, get out of here. Get out of here, fake Shabby. Get out of here, fake Shabby. Okay. Oh my god, Nubster's here. Okay. Nubster, that scared the French toast sticks out of me. Oh, that one's done. Okay, cool. And I helped. Oh, so the rest of them are on the 2nd floor. Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so there's that. Okay. Twins is right there. Ooh! Okay. Oh, it probably had me. I'm going back downstairs. Oh, my butthole. I didn't see it. Okay. And I get the bat booster. I'll give it to you. Oh, I think I'm okay now because I have the. What do I have? I have stamina booster on right now. We need one more battery for right here. Thank you, though. Diamor! Enjoy your lurky turkey. I hope you're doing so good. I hope you guys had such a good weekend. Oh, a locked container. Where? Oh, thank you. And it always unlocks the first time. That is awesome. So we have this and a rig recharger. Perfect. So, ooh. I don't want to use this large battery. Buddy, you're not gonna hurt me, right? Okay. Oh god. You're not gonna hurt me, right, buddy? We're gonna be friends. Friends to the end. Right? Right, Dead by Daylight? What is this? Oh, I see. Okay. Maybe I will use the large battery just to get it out of here. Just to finish this. Oh, they finished theirs? Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll just do mine then. I'll just do mine. Oh, please don't hurt me. Okay. Alright. We're in. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this game's a lot less scary when you have 2 other people with you. Oh, I see. What's up, Quinny? Quinny, I hope you're doing very good, Appy. Oh, no! Oh, thank you. Oh, this is the night guy. Night Seeker, whatever his name is. Cool, okay. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Night Hunter, that's it. Oh, rig recharger? Spoiler girl. I'm gonna take 1 more battery. Okay, I'm happy with that. Alright. Studio 3. Holy. Let's arm that. Quinny! Mwah! Think of the forehead kiss. Aww. Oh, that's new. I like that, low-key. Adrenaline. Is that real? Oh, okay. Is that real adrenaline or is that fake adrenaline? I was asking if that was real Chevy or fake Chevy. Oh, a ball. Well, I'm being chased. Chased by Hoomst. Hoomst. Okay, we're good. All right, what we got? What do we got? Okay, nurse goes here. Okay. So I'll put the nurse back here. Why do I feel like they're right behind me? 21, I can do that. Are you doing it? Oh, you're doing it. Okay, you're doing it. You guys do that. I got it down here. All right, and then camera. Okay, so you're just gonna come back here. I hear them, I hear them, I hear them. Yep. Oh, not you. Like, literally anybody but you. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, less awkward. Oh, no, I really appreciate that, Loki. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm not good with comms. Okay. As soon as that guy buggers off, I'll be able to... Okay. I got 2 things. I have no things in place, actually. Hold on. Okay. Wait, why? What sound? Okay. I'm just gonna assume that they're not chasing me until I'm getting hurt. Oh, wait. Okay. Where does he get stabbed? Oh, right there. Okay. Right? No, that's not it. I think that's it? I think that's it. Okay. So, there's that. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay. Camera goes here, light goes here. Oh, I see where I messed up. Okay. That's fine. Oh, you had some typos. Alright, you know what? Let's move this here. Yeah, okay. Where'd the light go? Light go there. Light goes here, right? Here. Yeah, this is a lot easier when you have 2 people taking aggro for you the entire time. It's so much easier. You're doing your nails? What are you doing your nails? Design as? camera. Come, 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 come. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm so locked in right now. Slay. Okay, I have this wrong, right? Perfect. Alright, bye, Bob. Green medium stiletto with a sparkly top coat? A sparkly taco? Bob, watch out! Oh, I don't have any health to give you. Sorry, Bob. Oh, it's just so much nicer without people chasing me. Oh, I didn't mean to use that! Well, here you go, Bob. Oh, there you go. Let me use that. Hey! I forgot about that command. Thank you, Loki. Oh, I want to go in? Oh, my. Oh, he's sick. We're good. What's up, Ace? Holy shiitake mushrooms. Ace, thank you so much for the 38 months. Ah! Enjoy your 90. Count him. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free viewing, and your sub badge. Oh my god. I don't think they ever made one. This is from Forever 21, from maybe like 12 years ago. Hi, Bob. Bob, you're looking great, sweetie. But what's up, Bad Boon? Ace, I hope you're doing very good. Hope you had a great weekend. Oh. A little bit about our sponsor. I can't use the camera right yet. Okay, that's right. Is there anything for me to unlock? Oh, a poster. Don't mind if I do. Oh, you did find a lockbox. Shows how much I ain't paying attention. Oop. Oop. Oh my god, literally, what's wrong with you, Pixel? Got it. First try, too. Shut up, chat. You guys didn't see that. Delicious jar shell tacos from scratch. Yum. What's up, Rat Bet? Trat? Hard shell. I was like, okay. I wasn't gonna oh, I got poison. I wasn't gonna argue with it. I was gonna be like, you know better than I do. Well, W hard shell tacos. We love our Taco Mondays. Okay, that's fine. Enemy disrupted though. Okay, we got it, we got it, we got it. Okay, Bob, you're making me really sad. Can you stop? Oh, Bob, stop! You're making me sad! Oh, I don't have another thing, but there's that. Alright. That guy right there. You got it, alright. And then there's that guy right there. And then there's gonna be a fourth one, no? Or is it just those three? 1, 2, 3. Maybe because there's 3 of us, there's only 3 of them. Alright. Alright. Wait, is there anything, like, anything up here? Any goodies? Oh. So I can respawn? Oh. Okay, because I died earlier when I was playing solo. Okay. I could wait for Tuesday? I don't blame you. Oh! Hell yeah. I do not blame you at all. I was actually just telling Music Kid earlier, because Music Kid was also making tacos today. And he said it was making Taco Tuesday today. I was like, literally, Taco Tuesday should be every day. If I do say so myself. Oh, you got that one already? There's only 3, right? Yeah, Nubster has it all. Because I can't get any of these.
Not everybody knows that Bob is also an accomplished singer.
Aw, thanks, Ace! I bet they'd be good as heck, too. Alright. Get disrupted, nerds. Get disrupted. Nice. Oh! Get disrupted! Get disrupted, nerd! Nice. Easy. Easy. I'm gonna close this on Shabby's face, do you mind? Yay! The other one was like... There we go. Nice. Oh, I don't have my adrenaline. Yo, my breath smells so good because it just smells like blue raspberry. Yeah, I guess we don't have to stay, right? Because the rest of the stuff is gonna happen anyways, right? Yeah. Oh, Shabby needs health. I can unlock this. Oh, we can leave. We can leave. Okay, hold on. I can do this. Hold on. There's gonna be a rig recharger here. Heal, heal, heal. Yeah. Cool. We didn't need it. Now I want tacos? Truly. You know what? Yeah. I'm also like, man, I'm gonna offend so many people, but man, I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life. You know what? For dying once, I'll take a B+. For dying once, I'll take one. GG's. Alright, so never do intensive solo ever again is what I'm hearing. Because that sucked. I love Taco Bell? Okay, so you won't judge me. I also love Taco Bell. But I also love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life. Chipotle is so good. So good. Guys, I have to pee. I know. Usually, usually wait 2 hours, but I have to pee. Oh, wait, it has been almost 2 hours. Ah! Do you guys mind if I go pee really quickly? You guys don't mind, right? In the meantime, Nubsters, Nubbies, can I call you Nubbies? Nubbalicious? Nubbalicious, Defalicious, make your boys go loco. And Shabby, yeah, okay, cool. If you guys want to pick a level that you guys want to do. That's not Rebirth! I don't know if I can do a Rebirth. Oh! W Self-Claire. Self-Claire. Ooh! Oh, Jasper, that was my butt. Can't touch my butt like that. Oh, okay, well, don't eat that either, freak. Alright. In the meantime, I'm gonna stand here just in case people start playing chess or something. I'm not saying you guys play chess, I'm just saying if anyone does. On Chipotle. Oh. Well, what's it like not being neurodivergent? I will be right back. Oh, I'll just leave the screen on just in case someone does play chess. You guys can watch that. But I will be right back. I'm gonna go pee. blocked me. I forgot to shower, so actually... What? Hater. Cue the elevator music. What's up, Zombie? Zombie, you done streaming? You done streaming, Zombie Magic? Might be a while. Wow. Okay. What gives me time to remind you guys that we're doing a sponsor segment with Gunnar Optics right now. And make sure you guys check out their website, because if you guys are looking for some blue light blocking glasses or just like any beautiful looking glasses in general, there are 2 sales going on right now. The first sale is the $10 mystery box sale, which is pretty cool. Because say you like have never tried Gunnar Optics before and you're just like, man, I just want to see like if they're even worth it at all. Get a $10 mystery box for as little as $10. Oh, you have nothing to apologize for, Shabby. You're perfect. And just try them out, see if you like them. And then if you guys know you like Gunnar, there are sales for prescription havers. So if you have a prescription. Oh, I know, Muffin. Then there's a 20% off prescription glasses sale right now. Or prescription lenses sale right now. It's what happens when you keep poking me in the butt. You keep poking me in the butt, you're gonna get your name stripped. Oh, I know. Oh, I know, Muffin. I know. I'm done. I'm done. Yuck. You want a treat? You did so good. Thank you. Oh, try again. Good boy. Oh, sorry. He's suffering. Yo, suffering. The idol on each difficulty except psycho. I'm thinking the idol on each difficulty except psychosurgery or just on standard. The idol. Oh God, which one was that one? Hold on. The idol. Stun rig. I have like nail trimmings everywhere now. Complete a chess match. X-ray rig, adrenaline, rig rechargers. Okay. What would you say again? The idol was what you... Oh, we just did? I'm thinking the idol on each difficulty except psychosurgery. Oh, so you mean the one that... yeah. Psychosurgery is the hardest one, right? I think Shabby and I did that once, and I think we both died. I think. What's up, Pumpkin? Pumpkin, happy bunch. I hope you had the best weekend ever. Well, I'm down to do that level again. That level is super fun. Yeah, okay, so psychosurgery is crazy. Absolutely not. I don't need to with the except second or just on standard. Okay, well, I'm down to do standard. And you said, yeah, let's do standard. And then what do you have? I kind of want to do the barricade because that was a really good idea. Place barricades to block openings and delay pursuers. Carry 2 barricades. Removal instantly refunds them. Interesting. So I don't think I've ever like actually equipped the barricade before, but I'm so down to try that one. Yeah, Loki, I agree. When fully upgraded, I think I have it fully. I think I have everything fully upgraded. Yes. Because it only goes up to level 8, right? Hold on. Let me yap to this guy really quick. So I'm pretty sure I have everything upgraded. What's up, Jinx? Jinx, happy Monday. Okay, yeah, everything's good. Okay. Okay, let's give this a shot, eh? Jinx, mwah, thank you for the forehead kiss. You hope you had such a good weekend. But yeah, I actually, when Chevy comes back, I want to ask him how many levels he has done in psychosurgery. Psychosurgery, right? Ah, psycho killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Yeah. Are you excited? Are you? It's good, right? We're like good feelings, right? Happy, excited, good, excited, or are we like nervous too? Because I mean, understandable. No matter what, big hype's cool. Good for you. Good. Good. But I don't understand being, you know, nervous as well. Psycho killer, I guess go say, yeah.
You are the electric eye.
Written ups or no way. See, I've always been a jammer.
The same razor-toothed orifice.
1 p.m. Oh hell yeah. What time is it for you right now?
Crush the face of false charisma.
8 p.m. for me right now.
Will let you out.
Cause you're in the future, no? 2 a.m. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Bob. It's so funny how like I never really pay attention to these beginning things because I just yap with you guys. But and every so often I'll end up watching these intros and it's like, ugh. I whoa. Yeah. Does everyone have their Twitch drops yet? Or how many people still need Twitch drops? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be playing Outlast Trials for a while, but... And I know these Twitch drops go until, I think, the 21st or the 22nd? One of those. Goes for a couple more weeks. I'm just curious who else needs drops. I just opened the menu. Oh, really? Yeah, it is super distracting. Isn't there only the one drop this time around, or is there more? There's 6 drops. There's 3 out of 6. Okay, cool. You got the first week, B2. You need 3 more? Okay. Oh, no, you're good. But yeah, there is only one on DVD at the moment, which is the Blood Moon Charm. Hello, video game I would like to load in. Okay, we're in standard. So, hopefully no Jaegers spawn. That was so scary last game. Ends on the 21st. Cool, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is that a Sunday? No, that's not a Sunday. That's a Tuesday, isn't it? Oh, so probably, ends at like 1 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday or something. I might reload my game. Oh, just kidding. I will stay right here. I'm sad. It's just like the old DVD lobbies where if you're sitting there for 5 minutes, you just have to bitch about how long the lobbies are, and then you'll get in there. I'm gonna turn my mic on, explain my strategy. I think I have chat turned off at the moment. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, okay, so I have barricade. I have barricade. I have barricade. Pixel, you have barricade. Sorry, it's not a you thing. It's a me thing. Me brain don't do well with voices in my head. Oh, I forgot I have that on. Okay. I feel fast. I feel fast. I feel fast. Yeah, ping, yeah. I already forgot. What was the... Oh! Well, I imagine, like, I just saw you take all of them. You just took all of the videos at first, right? Or the videotapes? The cassettes? Actually, I will take that, because that's a large battery. Ooh, oh my god.
Check that shit out.
Oh, I just realized it's coming out of his butt. Ugh. Then it's up to you to know it. Wait, are you talking to me? Guys, everyone say hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Bob, I hope you're doing so good. Any posters in here? Aha. Hi, Bob. Watch out! Yes! My 5-year partner anniversary was yesterday. Yesterday, 5 years ago, I got partnered on Twitch. Also, hi, Kyle! Everyone tell Kyle how hot and tall and talented and handsome he is right now. And Kyle, if no one says how hot and tall and talented and handsome you are, you go ahead and ban them. Thanks, guys! We're gonna celebrate it this weekend. I was gonna do it on Wednesday, and I was like, eh. Yeah. Okay, so I have a barricade, but I'll wait for Nubblicious to be here. Enjoy your lurky turkey, zombie! Oh, thank you so much. It really means a lot. My plan for the is that when the first cassette is done, follow me and place barricades. Oh, okay. Barricades. Oh, yes! I will absolutely do that. That's so smart. Absolutely. That's super duper smart. Enjoy your lurky turkey, zombie. Thank you so much. Pumpkin, did I give you a kissy 5 minutes ago? Mwah, mwah. Just in case I forgot, you get 2. Was it 025? 025. J12. Breezy, peasy, squeezy. Bath! Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kissy. Thank you guys for saying hi to Kyle. I love when you guys say hi to the mods. It makes me really happy. My gut with an inadvisable amount of Taco Bell. Oh, we were just talking about tacos and Chipotle and oh, sorry, I forgot how to press this button. Tacos, Chipotle, Taco Bell. Kelly! All right, we're gonna go to this thing because it's kind of gross. Kelly, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Beth, thank you for your 125th forehead kissy. Hi, Kelly. What's up, Candy? Is that Twitch partner Late Night Candy? Oh my god, I hope you're doing so good, homies. Welcome in. We're currently playing some Outlast Trials right now. It's kind of gross. I know. Candy. Thank you for the forehead kiss. See? Anyone against me open my can of Monster? What flavor is it? We're doing some Outlast Trials right now. Thank you, Kelly! Kelly, you were so sweet. So yesterday was my 5-year Twitch partner anniversary. Very, very cool. Very, very exciting. And I think we're going to celebrate it this weekend. Because I didn't want to celebrate it during like my sponsored Gunnar segment because we're doing a sponsored segment with Gunnar right now, and I was like, I don't want to do a sponsored stream during my Twitch partner anniversary stream, you know, like I don't want to do that, you know. I wanted to be about me, you know. Is that shellfish? I want to be a little shellfish about it. Oh, you know what? I'll remember to do this time. But what was I gonna say? Mixed Bunch? Which one is that one? Heavy Fighters, thank you! That's what I'm saying. We're almost Twitch partner anniversary buddies. Or come also do you say, you know what I mean. Oh, this goes here. Okay. It should always be about oh no, Kelly, you stop. Kelly, how was your stream? Tell me about your stream. What were you up to? Kaya! Speaking of very special days, everyone say happy birthday to Call Me Kaya. It is Call Me Kaya's birthday today, so you guys are all contractually obligated to say happy birthday. Oh, also, thank you for the forehead kissy. Pixel can't ban me birthday. I can't, but my mods can. I'm joking. Guys, happy birthday, Kaya! Why can't I let go? There it is. Alright, so this is awkward because we're locked in. Ooh. We're locked in with the fire guy now. Ooh, okay. Oh! You know what? I'll leave that open. I'll leave that there. Oh, this is awkward. I have a brick. Oh, he does break that. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. A birthday timeout. It wouldn't be a birthday if it wasn't for a birthday timeout. You know what? Actually, I have an idea. Because this is the same place I had before. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, I hope they didn't see me. Okay, that's really unfortunate. That is so duper unfortunate. Oh, he faced a maneuver! Oh my god, Kaya, there's no way that you just gifted me subs on your birthday. What the fudge? Oh, that's unfortunate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. That's not how that works, Kaya. Thank you for the 5 gifted subbies. Hold on. To official Melkor, B Luna, Taylor, Nino947, and Joe Pap. What did you do? Did you have anything on your birthday? Did you do anything fun for your birthday this weekend? And blue? Do you want light blue or dark blue, Kaya? Light blue or dark blue? Let me know. And I got you. Also, after the sponsor segment, I'll do a shot for you too. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, okay. I don't come that close. Come. Yeah. Light blue? Okay, I got you. Yeah, in about like an hour or so, I can do a shot. I think it's like an hour, yeah, right? Maybe even less. I just can't do it during the sponsor segment. Oh! Nuh-uh. Hell yeah, Jinx. Oh, no way! And the oldest by 4 or 5 years? That's okay. Because you know what? You're still doing the thing, you know? I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope you don't let that, like, change anything for you. So I hope you're proud of yourself, because that's huge. I'm proud of you. Mr. Can you leave me alone? Come on, Bob, let's go. Come on, Bob, time to go. Whoa! Bobby! Alright, I need a bottle. Any bottles around? Ooh. Okay, we're good. The mom friends. You're like 4 or 5 years older. What about the cool aunt? Oh, Kaya. Kaya, what if we refund that to you and you get that, well, you'll still get the VIP, but you get that refunded to you. You know? 'Cause it's your birthday. And no, just because it's your birthday doesn't mean you're gonna get it on everyone in chat, but Kaya redeemed it. Alright? That's how it works. I get to do whatever I want with my channel. Enjoy your VIP, Kaya. Enjoy your VIP. Congratulations on getting VI Pizzle for your birthday. Points given back. No, take my points back. No, you take your points back. Ooh, and a lockpick. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you very much for saving up 30,000 channel points. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. Oop. I'll leave that there, though. Oh, is that Fire Lady? Fire Lady's so annoying. Nice. I'm sure she didn't hear a thing. So you don't wanna miss a thing. I don't usually go this way. Oh, I see. Ooh. But seriously, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. And I'll get your you said dark blue, right? Dark blue, pussycat. Whoa. Don't hurt me, mister. Don't hurt me, mister. Light blue. I got you. Light blue. Help is on the way, dear. Help is on the way. Alright, I'm here. Okay. Alright, so we got 2nd floor. Maybe one more. Sorry, I just wanted to do that because it was fun. Whoops! Oh, shit. That's unfortunate. That was really bad timing. That was so delayed. That's fine. We should be fine. We should be fine. I don't usually go... Oh, here we go. I was about to say, I don't usually go this way. So I'm like a little lost, but no, I'm good now. I'm good now. Oh, thank you! Share her drawing for a new tattoo. They want... Are you talking about in the Discord? There's a tattoos channel in the Discord, and there's a art channel in the Discord, too. Also, thank you, Spades. Thank you. Yeah. Wah! Oh, jeez. Mini evasive maneuver. Yeah, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. However, I have been going live a lot earlier than that. Oh, yes! Please use this now. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Ground Zero! Think of the forehead kissy. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, yeah, I want that. Thank you. I'm good with everything else. Oh, I'll take the battery so we can put it in the thingy. And we just need the 3rd floor one. A terrible. I got you. We will do that after this level. Oh, I hear it. It's right here. I hear you. Oh, wow. That did 100 points. That's awesome. All right, cool. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and then I'll go back to that room and pick up some more stuff. All right, so don't let me forget. Light blue kitty cat and tarot pole. Don't let me forget. Oh, cool. Thank you. And then I don't need that. You take that. I'll take this bottle back. And then is it a health booster? I mean, if you don't want it, I'll take it. Didn't even ask. I just took it. I can spend my money however I want. Whoa! Is it 20 subs like $100 fudging dollars? Don't you dare do that. No, Shabby, you are so good. Do your thing, chicken wing. I hope everything's okay. That's all that matters to me, so I hope you're okay, homie. Ping the location. What are we going in there for? Oh, everything's okay, Shabby. I hope you had such a good birthday, Kaya. I hope you're continuing to have a great birthday as well. I'd be proud of it. Oh my god, did you guys just hear my stomach just growl? My stomach be growling. Oh my god, that was actually really loud. It scared me. My stomach growl just scared me. There it is. There you are. Oh my god, it's so loud. Why is my stomach so growly? Oh, almost ran right into that. That's right, we're fine. Wait, Studio 3. Oh, a Scorch the Idol. Where is he? I don't remember. Why am I being chased? Why am I being chased? What did I do? What did I do? Your stomach growled? Yeah. Troy, thank you! No, my god, Troy, really. It's the worst. Well, it's not Twitch. Technically, it's the mobile. The mobile apps that have, like, the extra charges. But, I mean, 6 to 1, half a dozen to another, right? Is it safe? Can Pixel come out? Okay. Oh! Don't turn around, brother. Oh, he's gonna turn around. Oh god, where do I go? Okay, I'll hide right here. Because I have a barricade. No way. Oh, that's awesome. Perfect. Oh, I can't jump over that. That's fine. Okay. Nice. Nice! Oh, hell yeah. Okay, barricades are cool. Okay. All right, let's get this out of the way. And then the lady comes back here. Yeah, it's a lot, Troy. It's huge difference doing it from mobile and online, unfortunately. Put you... I just did this. Pixel, you just did this. Alright, so you're gonna remember what to do, right? Put this here. And push this here. Because... Alright. Light goes there. Okay. Light goes there. Okay, tarot pull and light blue kitty cat. Bob, can you stop breathing in my ear? It's very distracting. Oops. Whoa, 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 come back, come back, come back! Alright. Light goes here. Perfect. Camera goes there. I have a septum piercings, and so because I love her, she's really good vibe about our septum ring. Oh, it's the shape of a mustache. That's so funny. That's so cute. I love that. Wunderbar. Wunder. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A septum piercing mustache. That's so cute. Oh, Bob. I think I could take this back now, right? Bash. Can I just like disarm this? Oh! Oh, interesting, interesting. Oh, I'm so fast. So fast. Look how fast I am. Holy shit. Oh. I need things to unlock. Whoa! Let's go disarm that. Choices? Are you talking about the tattoo you're drawing? Choices? Open that. Ooh, here we go. Ah! That was scary. Huh. Idiot, I'm over here now. You'll never know. What? Okay. Wait, right now?
Our show is brought to you tonight by the good people at Crest Chemical. Maybe Bob can tell you a little bit about our sponsor.
Hi, Bob. All right. And I can decide. Oh, like trading card sleeves. For which trading card are you doing it for? Are you looking for? So I put it right here? So I kind of want to put it right there. Yeah. Oh. Wait, can I do this? Ah. Okay. Easy. Easy. Because if you're looking for Pokemon cards, the Pokemon Center has some dope Pokemon sleeves. Oh. Oh, I can barricade this too? Interesting. Alright. Consider me barricaded. Just gonna use a master key. There we go. love using my key. Boo, 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 tomato, tomato, boo. And then... That's it. Ooh, another one. A melodic? I'll try to catch that. I don't need that health. I just like unlocking things with my lockpick. Ooh, that was weird. It's like ran up on top of the wall. Oh, Leon's moans. What's it like being God's favorite? Ooh. It'd be nice if they chased me. I don't have any cassettes, so I can't, like, distract him. Yeah. I don't have any cassettes or any bowls, so I can't, like... Oh, there we go. I was like, I can't distract him. There we go. There we go. Come here, love. Come here, lovely. Come here, lovely. Oh, 2 of you? That's fine. Oh, it's not the fire lady, too, is it? Oh, the fire lady sucks. Gamer, you're the one who has the cassettes. You gotta do it. I can't do nothing. Alright, I'm gonna try to run past him. Oh, actually, are there any bottles down here then, grab? Oh, yes, 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 yes. Get me. Okay, cool. Alright, my barricade door was breached. Alright, jump, jump, jump. Oh, okay, I'm gonna assume that you got them all. I'm gonna assume you got them all. Oh, what if I did this? Oh, okay, well, that's unfortunate. Oh, I can't use it right now. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I'm assuming that you got them both done. Raven! Yo, Raven, thank you so much for the 150 stream streak. What the fudges? Holy. Oh, huge streaks. Oh no, he didn't get them done. Okay. Well, I don't know what to do then. Woo! Hello, friends. And welcome to another video. Oh! What the fudge? Oh, God! Hey, watch this. I'm only doing this because there's another way out for him. Oh, there you go. You're good. This means absolutely nothing right now because no one's gonna be chasing us now. Holy! I still have to see the second Five Nights at Freddy's. I never saw that one yet. All right, look away if you guys don't like gross things. Oh, Dino! Oh, I did miss that. Thank you, Dino. Thank you for the 7 stream streak 3 minutes ago. Listen, I don't know how to read. Thank you so much. And I forgot to put my phone on my Twitch so I can scroll up. There we go. I'm gonna take this just because I can. Oh, I hear someone behind me. No, don't touch me there. That's my no-no square. Hi, Tino! Wonder. It'd be so cool if I could just like barricade like somewhere like right here. Not too bad, not too bad. I got injured a bunch though, so I'm gonna guess like an A- for me. I got injured a bunch. That was fun though. That wasn't bad. A? I'll take it. I'll take it. Yo, it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. Yo, GG's, GG's. My allergies were like really heckin' bad earlier today. And my face was like really hot. But I took allergy medicine right before I started stream, so I think it's finally kicked in. But my face still feels a little warm. But I'm not as stuffy and blech as I was when stream first started, so that's nice. What is an allergy shot? What is that? Do you have like really bad allergies? I don't think I have like really bad allergies. I'm allergic to cats and dogs. Oh, you're so cute! Ugh, whatever. But, what's up, Freya? Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. I had a great day yesterday. Ate a bunch of food yesterday. I ate so much food yesterday. So much food. And then, what else did I do? Shut up. Okay, I thought that's what it was. So, the pills ain't good enough. So you have to get, do you mind if I ask how often you have to get that done? Because that sounds miserable. I'm not going to lie. But that's only because I hate shots. Needles. I hate needles. Love the hoodie, thank you! This is from Forever 21, like 12 years ago. I tried to imitate the merch. Or not imitate the merch, to replicate the merch in my merch store. I try to replicate it. Because I get so many compliments on this. But, unfortunately, Forever 21 only did this Nintendo collab once. And it was so long ago. I'm glad the stuff still fits. They also did this really cool PlayStation collab, too, back in the day. But I think... Oh, no, I did get another Mario crop top as well. It was like Mario Kart. It was red. It was so cute. I think I got rid of that one. But this one I love. I'm going to keep this one forever. But, yeah, they had a PlayStation collab, too. This was really dope. I still have a PlayStation shirt from that. Oh, thank you! Oh, not for streaming, for partner. I've been streaming for a lot longer than that. But yesterday was my 5-year partner anniversary. Thank you, Shinobi. Thank you so much. Yeah, super cool. It's once every 4 weeks. Oh my god. My friend from the US gets a really low dose shot every week, so it varies a lot. Really? Man. Well, I mean, as long as it works, right? You know, play Outlast again? Oh my god. You know what? I know my tummy hurts so much. I did a bunch of lower ab workouts yesterday. Because I was so mad for eating so much yesterday. I did a lot of lower ab workouts, and that's why my tummy hurts. Damn. Oh, and I'm also hungry, but besides that. What's up, babe boy? It definitely works really well. Okay, I'm so glad. Oi. That's awesome. Good for you, then. I don't know if I can do it. I can't do needles. You want to play Outlast again? Outlast the game or Outlast Trials? We have an ad coming up. So I'm going to yap for a little bit while the ad plays, if you guys don't mind. So you guys don't see any boring ads. I just ordered new deals and Strange Company, so... Oh, Outlast Trials. Did you get all the drops for him? All the Twitch drops? Stun 3 enemies with a stun rig is what I need to do for my daily task. What do I got for weekly? Okay. X-ray, adrenaline, rig rechargers. Okay. I guess we could do a little stunny stun. Oh yeah, I could do a game of chess. Yeah, and then we could have the ad play during that too, because that's no one's gonna give a fuck about that. I'm not good at this game. Was Bothless? No, you, Jay. Freya, that's lame. I'm sorry to hear that. What's up, Teddy Bear Tails? Oh, who goes first? Oh, White goes first, right? Oh shoot. Oh god. Okay. Oh god. Oh, here, so you guys can see. Oh god. And this is times too, isn't it? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. I don't know what to do. Ah! I didn't want to do that. That's the wrong one. That's fine. Oh no. Oh, no. No. Wait, which one's my king? That's my king, right? That's my queen? Okay, that's fine then. I don't know. I'm stressed out. Oh, I still have to do the, no, it's fine. I want to do the stuff for Kaya, too. Oh, isn't this exactly where you like me? I'm exactly where you like me, you know. Where's the love and aliveness? A brain and aim and oh, isn't this exactly where you like me? I'm exactly where you like me, you know. I still don't know the words to that song, fun fact. I still have no idea what I'm singing. Yeah, you can do Jess, yeah. Ain't that fun? Shout out to Fall Out Boy. Shout out to the fob. You like me, I'm exactly where you like me, you know. Add now, no ad in game. I want that bishop. Oh no. Oh yes. That was scary. Oh, imagine that was like checkmate. That'd be so scary. Oh no. Oh yes. Where's the love and love? Man, it's gonna be stuck in my head all night, isn't it? Wait, hold on, Dinu. Ash, Dredge, and Houndmaster. Oh, God! I want to marry Houndmaster. That's easy. Hold on, one second. I would marry Houndmaster. I'll hug Ash and I'll kiss the Dredge. And I'm so serious. I am deadly serious. No, don't watch! I don't want people to watch us play. Oh, I'm gonna be so nervous. Love that. What would you do? What would you guys do? Not hug, marry, kiss. Oh man, I wasn't paying attention. Hold on. Chill. Oh god. I'm not paying attention. I gotta get that out of my head. Someone sing a song. Someone sing a song. No, don't sing a song. I'm not letting chat. I'm not letting chat choose a song. I don't trust you guys. Dweeb. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. He's taking all my pawns, guys. No. I'm not, anything that Kyle puts in the chat, I'm not reading. I'm smarter than that. I know not to read anything that Kyle's putting in the chat. What's up, GD Jed? Oh god, I missed it. Think of the forehead kissy. Oh god, wait guys, I'm timed. Hold on, chill. Sorry. Hello, what's up, Steph? Also, Benny. Mwah, Steph. Mwah. Think of the forehead kisses. I'm stressing out, guys. It's this times thing. Oh. You ruined everything for me, actually, by doing that. Well. Oh, no! Oh, I didn't realize I was on the wrong color. That's fine. Wait, go back one move. I know! I thought that he could get me. I was actually just about to. Yeah, I think it should be good. I was about to. I thought his bishop was on this. But no, I should be good now. There it is. So that's what I was about to do, Spooky, but I thought his bishop was about to get me. Alright, so let me do the kitty cat for Kaya, the tarot deck for Kaya, and then we'll get back into the game. Light blue. Thank you so much, Kaya. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you very much for the birthday, your birthday gifted subbies. That is way too kind. On your birthday, gifted me subs. It's crazy. Good game, good game. GG's, GG's. That's very stressful. It's very stressful doing that with time limits.
Well,
no, it's funny, Kyle.
About the bird, bird,
we're in a gutter segment, which means I can't hear that.
The word a well a bird. Bird.
Enjoy, chat.
The word a well a bird. Bird. Well, the bird is the word a well a bird. Bird. Be birds the word a well a bird. Bird. Well, the bird is the word a well a bird. Be birds the word a well a bird. Bird. Be birds the word a well a bird. Bird. Well, the bird is the word a well a bird. Bird.
That's
Be
fine.
bird's
I
the
can
word.
wait. You're such a hater. Oh, I'm getting like high off these fumes. Oh man. What's up, Buck Pixel? Yo, happy Monday. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. I'm not even gonna read the talk to text because it's gonna get stuck in my head, and I already have Fall Out Boy stuck in my head. Is it, for the record, that has nothing to do with me? We remember when Fuck Pixel came into stream for the first time, or not for the first time, but the second time after the first time they came in, I had to tell my mods, wait, that's not a troll. So, Kaya, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subbies. There it is. You got a little birthday hat in the kitty. Is that Fall Out Boy? Was I not just listening to Fall Out Boy? Am I crazy? Hold on. Oh, it's Panic at the Disco, isn't it? It's Panic at the Disco, right? Was it Panic at the Disco? What was I listening to? Was it Panic or Fall Out Boy? It was Panic! Yeah, I'm a millennial. I know my bands. Whatever. It's our song! Is it? Alright, there it is. I love Panic Disco. Well, I was just singing it and said it was Fall Out Boy. Listen. I have ADHD. What was I about to do? Territorial. Their name has a great backstory. Panic at the Disco or Fall Out Boy? There is a certain black cat that just came downstairs. Midnight. You guys want to see a black cat? Oh, you're talking about Pixel. Oh, yeah. Oh, you just don't want to say it. That makes sense. Bravo, penguin. Mwah. Think of the forehead kissy. Guys, everyone say, hello, princess. Stream's favorite princess just came in. Speaking of God's favorite princess. Got your ass. Look, it's midnight. Everyone say hello, midnight. Can you not look so angry for like 10 seconds, midnight? Let's be rude about it. I remember when she used to sit on top of my chair, but this chair doesn't have a pillow like the other chair did, so she can't sit on the top of the chair because it's too skinny. Like, it's too skinny to sit up here. So she doesn't sit on my chair anymore. So. What's up, Empress? Oh, is it really Nubsters? Oh. A compliment! Of course! Fuck, Pixel, you are literally so hot. You are the hottest, the tallest, the most handsomest person in this stream right now, and you're literally my favorite person in this entire room right now. That's you, Fuck Pixel. You're my favorite. Danny! Mwah. Thank you for the forehead kiss, you. Also, thank you guys very much for saying hello to Bravo Penguin. Isn't she so cute? She's adorable. She's my favorite. Thanks for her. The origin is kind of funny. I don't remember if you ever shared it here. I won't get banned if it's a bad card. We'll see, dweeb. What's up, Slime Girl Button? Alright, so here's the card that we pulled. The Empress in reversed. Who pulled this? Kaya? You're lucky it's your birthday. No, Kaya did. Cat hair. Financial or domestic issues may be plaguing you, causing immeasurable stress. Did I mention that I still need to pay my taxes? There may also be a creative block or a needy person drawing too much of your energy. Can that needy person be one of my pets? Drawing too much energy? Lack of self-reliance. Financial strife. So anyways, that's rude. Empress in reversed. Bravo, Penguin. Thank you for the 20 stream streak. What the fudgies? Oh, you know what? Came in. I think you are 1 inch shy of getting the POTD. I believe Salted Loki is still the penis of the day. POTD with 65 inches. I'm being attacked today. Yeah. I did not like that card. I don't like it. I say we double that and give it to the next person. Looks like Loki is still POTD. Oh. Now what? Who invited you? Who invited you, Muffin Top? Alright, go lay down. Go lay down. Or I'm gonna trim your nails. Yeah, that's right. Spiky. That's our smallest one of the day. Jaeger's archetype is as follows: Relentless Hunter, Inexorable Death. Inexorable Death. The Jaeger is assigned to target rage and will slowly track that rage until dead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they will. And they're gonna be really scary about it. It's been 2 hours already? Guys, we're about to end our Gunnar segment. Ooh, which means I can take our shot of Malort for Kaya. Guys, tell Gunnar how hot and tall and talented and handsome they are. Gunnar, thank you so much for sponsoring the stream. And guys, do not forget 2 sales going on right now. Besides my code, Pixel2025, for 15% off, there is a prescription sale where 20% off all prescription glasses, and you can use your FSA and HSA. They're both compatible with the prescription glasses sale. That's 20% off. Then there's also the mystery box sale for $10 hairs each. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys want to try out Gunnar, get the mystery box. Try it out, see if you like it, and then invest in the future. And if you guys have prescription glasses like me, get 20% off all prescription glasses, lenses, with no code. Literally just add to cart. So, Gunnar, thank you so much. Have a best rest of your week. Everyone say, bye, Gunnar! The best type of cards. Yeah, we got doll hairs. Alright, so we're not ending stream, we're just ending our sponsor segment. So now we can talk about boobs and butts and everything else we normally talk about anyway, because I have no shame. Oh, Shamoy, alright. Oh, wrong button. Discord invite! Actually, mods, I could do that. I'm doing that right now. Or, I have time to do that right now. So, mods, I got it. Okay. Let me do that before I forget. Oh, but can we get can someone refund those points, por favor, for the Discord invite? Welcome. Invite to server. Edit invite link. One use. Generate new link. Copy. All right, Nubster, I'm gonna send you a message on Twitch. Thanks, homies. I have you muted on my right monitor, and you waving by the gunner got my attention. I waved back at you. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this might be super embarrassing. Okay. It's fine. It's Autism Awareness Month. So, a little fun fact about me as part of, like, my autism, I love waving. Like, this might be too much. This is probably part of, like, my masking that I, like, should keep, like, masked and I shouldn't share to the public, but here it is. So part of my unmasking is I love waving. So I'll actually do this when I get really high because my mask comes down a little bit. So I'll wave to my animals. I'll wave to, like, if someone's leaving out of the TV show or movie that I'm watching, I'll leave. I'll, like, wave. And I'll wave to, like, animals, like ducks that hang out in my backyard. I'll wave to them. I'll sometimes wave to myself if I pass by. I'm sharing this completely stone cold sober, by the way. This is just part of my fucking tism. Like, you're not really autistic. If you saw what I'm like in my living alone situation, thank you for the validation. Thank you. I know it's weird. It's why I don't share this, but I'm sharing it right now because I have issues. But I do love a slutty little wave. I do love it. An aggressive, super fast wave is fun. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the most I'm gonna share. I one hand clap. Oh wait, hold on. I can do it. Hold on. Let me take out this ring. Oh, okay. The other ring's gonna come off. I can only do one hand clap. I only do one. Have a good night! Is it Rinks? Rinks, enjoy your sleepy. Thank you so much for hanging out. I cannot one hand. I can only do one hand. This one. My brother can do both. I can't do this one. It's so funny. I could do... Oh, shut up, Mooncords! And, run and X by itself. Okay. So run. Oh, Rin! Rin. Okay. Well, Rin, I hope you have a very good night. Oh, yeah, okay, Supernova, thank you for the validation, guys. But I can't do the other hand clap. Which is so funny, because I could do this one, but I can't do this one. What was I gonna say? Oh, let me change my audio so I can hear things again. Moon, I honestly, like, that I've never told anybody this. Like, my family knows I do it sometimes, because they'll see me... Actually, I don't even know if my family knows I do that. But yeah, that's a secret that... Hey, Pixel, what's a secret that you've never told anybody? That. I've literally never told anybody that before. So anyways, I started blasting. Let me take a shot of Malort. I don't have a shot glass down here. I forgot I went to go wash it. Yeah. And I really don't want to drink it right out of the bottle. So, I'm gonna go upstairs and get a shot glass. You guys mind? Yeah. I would be so proud. I do not have to pee. No. Yeah. People have sat on a video call for a long period of time. My family may not know. Yeah. Well, and now us. Wait, what do you mean without us? Wait, you saying pee without you? I'm not sure of what I want to do first. Operation Hormones. Oh, rat bat! Hell yeah. Okay. Let me go get a shot glass. I will be right back. A gift. Did you just, like, not move? You're just gonna stay in there? Okay. I don't think she moved the entire time I was gone. Also, I'm drinking a Jaeger shot glass. get so empty? Who's drinking my Malort? She did not. You're such a weird girl. She's still down here. Weird girl. All right, so the shots for Kaya for their birthday. Happy birthday. Yuck, yeah. Yuck, yeah.
Go on. Give him a nibble.
Yo, listen up. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue light him inside.
This reminds me of the movie Liar, Liar.
House with a blue little
With,
window and a blue Corvette
was it
and
Paul
everything was
Giamatti
blue
and
for
Frankie
him
Muniz and
himself
Amanda Bynes? You guys remember that
everybody
movie?
around 'cause he ain't got
Also,
nobody to
is
listen
anyone else
to
impressed I
listen.
remember Paul Giamatti's name? Happy birthday. Call me Kaya. Yuck. Ugh. Why? You do? Wait, do you remember that movie? Also, thank you very much. Yucky. For the 100 bits. I think I still have Fall Out Boy, aka Panic at the Disco, stuck in my head though. No, actually, I think it's gone. The voices. I think the voices have stopped. Anyways, alright. What are we doing? Should we just do one more? What do you guys think? What did I do in my weekly task? Oh, the chess match. That's right. Okay. Big Fat Liar. Oh, yeah. Big Fat Liar, not Liar Liar. Liar Liar is the one of Jim Carrey. Big Fat Liar is the one of Paul Giamatti and Amanda Bynes and Frankie Muniz. Thank you, Mama J. Man, I was so close to getting that reference perfect. Oh, yeah. You know what? No, I don't want to.
Go on. Give him a nibble.
I'm blue. Da body 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 da body. I'm blue. Da body 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 da body.
Also known as I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da. Thank you for the 100 bits. I'm here for it anyways. Da body, da body, da body, da body, da body. So anyways, wait, hold on, Raven, what did you say? Raven just said something. Hold on, you just reminded me that I turned 35 less than a month. Ugh! Ugh! Wait, Raven, what are we gonna do for your birthday? Whose body? Oh, I supposed to come up for air. Oh, I would love to hear the whole song. I think there's a limit on how much Brian says in the TTS, unfortunately. Can we do Songs Idol but Scavenger? Nubsters, are you down for Silence Idol and Scavenger? In introductory. I'm gonna do introductory, is that okay? For Scavenger. I don't know, man, my life is so unstable right now. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. Fair, valid. Also, thank you so much for the follow. I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I only have a B. What did I have? A B minus in that? Oh, thanks, Jesus! This is from a Forever 21 collab that they did like 12 years ago with Nintendo. I tried to duplicate it in my merch store, and it's not perfect. Oh, I'm not clicked into the game. It's not perfect, but you know what? She did her breast. You have an A+! Yeah, I have I think it was a B-. Also, I think this might be LG. I know, L streamer, but I really wanted to make this a short stream. Oh, I saw those, Kyle! Oh, what G Fuel I'm rocking? I'm rocking the, Blue Ice. So, classic. Oh, thank you, Spades. Spades actually picked this one, Blue Raspberry Blue Ice. I'm sorry, Spades, I'm sorry. And I did it from the Guilty Gear Heaven Blue Raspberry. Focus? Alright, pretend that it's focused. Where I got my favorite. Was it the Gay Boy one, Raven? I need to do new merch. I'm still waiting for the PixelxKitten one to get finalized. Sakuna's Finger mixed with green tea. Sakuna's Finger is one of my favorite flavors ever. That flavor's so good. The green tea. Is that the... No, Quirk is matcha. Which one is this green tea? The zipper hoodie? That's the Gay Boy zipper hoodie, right? This is one in your Snapchat all the time, right? Wait, what G Fuel did you have today, Raven? I hate pullovers. Mood. I gotta see. Yeah. Oh, hype sauce. Okay. It's so unhealthy. They talk like a couple and they're siblings. Ugh. Well, you know what they say. Incest is best when kept in the family. Is that a bad joke? It's a really bad joke. Sorry. Sorry. Hi, Midnight! Oh, you've never heard that one before? I can't tell if you're being facetious or not. Do you guys like my fanny pack? The further away I get from being a teen, the more I love crew neck sweaters. I've always been... I would have worn that. The reason why I think this pullover crop top has lasted me so long, even though I've had it for over 12 years, is because I never really wore it when I was younger. Well, mostly because it's a crop top that's a hoodie, and I have big boobs, and so look, like, it comes down and goes out like that when my stomach is, like, right here, but it comes out like that, so it makes me look like huge, and so it's a good stream sweater because you really only see me from here up anyway. But I've always been a big zipper goily. But recently I have been enjoying the good pullover. Oh, is that what that was, Loki? Okay. You haven't liked hoodies in years? I don't like ones that come up at my neck. This one comes up at my neck a lot, but again, it's a good stream hoodie. Oh, thanks, Panda Pants. Wait for the booster? I don't think I get a booster. Because we're at Scavenger, right? We don't get a booster, right? Or am I crazy? I got huge tits. Oh, thanks, Raven. I was just like, no! Okay, you scared me. No, you're good, nubbies. Ooh! I'll take that. Actually, I'll take it. Oh yeah, we're at introductory, so we're fine. We're fine. Enjoy your lurk. That's just a good reminder to have. Oh, Raven. I don't remember if you were here before. I'm pretty sure Rootsy was here before for this person, but there was somebody that came in. It was during a raid, but they didn't come with the raid. You know, they were first time chatter, but they didn't come with the raid. If that makes sense. And they asked. Their first time chat was, "Are you a streamer?" And I don't know, they were just weird, you know, like weird vibes, right? And then they're like, "Do you stream on Twitch?" And I don't know, they're just asking like stupid questions. Well, that person came back today, Raven, and I got to ban them because the first message was, "Do you stream on Twitch?" It's like, shut the fuck up, Rootsy! Oh, Rootsy, you would love that. Lapis, mwah, Rootsy, mwah, thank you for the forehead kissy. Thanks, Canary! I got this from Forever 21. Like, 12 years ago. Whoa, shabakaba! What did I just say? Oi, shaboy! So anyways, I started Blasted. Got your ass. Woo-wee! Alright, we're good. Shabakabak! Shut up! What's up, Ben? Ben, mwah. Canary, mwah. Thank you for the forehead kisses. Alright, I got health for, Crafty. Oh, here, are you right here? Where are you? No, you're in there, okay. Wait, Crafty! This is for you. Okay. Woo! No! Crafty! I'll remember this in therapy. Yeah. Sorry, I can't run right now. What am I getting schmackle-dackled by? Should have gone with it. So I went with it the first time because I'm just like, I don't know, like I just assumed that the person was just like being like it was like a weird troll or something. I don't know. I didn't really understand it. But then they came back again today and they're like, "Do you stream on Twitch?" And I'm just like, I don't know. My allergies are so bad. I was like, I couldn't deal with the idiocy. Oh, guys, everyone say hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. Bob, I hope you're doing great today, sweetheart. Oh my God, I should have paid advance. If I was, you know, if I was stronger. Baruzzi, I hope you're doing so good. Oh, no, Nubster, you are so fine. If I had a nickel for every time Shabby and I have done that to each other, I'd have a lot of nickels. Yeah, they did. They were the first band of the day. Free Shabaka
Do.
But yeah, like, if you're gonna do it once, it's a bit. If you're gonna do it twice, you're just annoying. You know what I mean? Shut up, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, thanks for the 100 bits. Appreciate you, homie. You know what? He does have that. I kind of want the jammer. I'm not gonna lie. I want the jammer. If I had a nipple for every time. Listen. Don't shame me. Oh, yeah, I want that actually. Oh, you know what? This will be a good thing to jam, I think. Yeah, I think that's a good slutty little thing to jam. Can't swap item. Oh, didn't use an item, idiot. Okay. Oh, you're probably waiting for me to come, eh? Don't you have at least a nipple or two? Don't shame me! That's alright. It was like I think like we had debated on banning them. And I said no, because I was like, maybe it's a bit, or maybe they're just being weird. Because, you know, like, people are weird, you know? Like, I'm neurodivergent. I understand, like, people can be weird, right? And not understand, like, social cues and how to start off, like a setting or whatever. But it's like, if you're going to do it again, it's like, I don't know, it's not funny. Because especially since we didn't laugh the first time, you know? Like, you're not funny. Oh, what do I want? Ooh, there's two? Okay, I'll take it if it's two. If I had estrogen temp for every time, whatever we discussed, I would have titties! Yo, free the titties, by the way. This is a docs level? No, this is a... Oh, I forgot. Sorry, I didn't look. CO3. Hello?! Oh, I didn't see it. Was it J11? I hope it was J11, because I wasn't looking. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no.
Pix war, pix period, 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 pix.
Shut up, Leon's Moans! You are funny.
Pix period, pix war, pix.
Enjoy your lurky turkey, Freya!
Pix period, pix war, pix period, pix war, pix period.
Really? Shinobi, enjoy. Enjoy your Godzilla. Love Godzilla. Sorry if I missed anyone's messages. I don't know how to read. Dropped out of college.
Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix period.
Is it? That's alright. We love wonky.
Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix.
You did this to yourself.
Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix period. Pix war, pix period. Pix war.
Pix war, indeed. Oh, is it over? Thank you so much for the tier 3 resub for 54 months, you fudging sweat. You sweaty sweat. Or if you can do me the biggest favor, if you can tell me what color pussy you'd like. If you'd like a pink, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, purple, or salmon, because I forgot about salmon. Let me know what color you want. For the tier 3 resub. Ah! Oh, I don't have evasive maneuver. Oh, did it really? I didn't really hear it because it's kind of quiet compared to the game because the game is hella loud. But there we go. But what's this? Uncivil Sun. No, I want this. Oh, can I put this right here? Wouldn't that be so fun? So if anybody comes out this door, they'll just get instantly blinded. Oh, I love it. I couldn't really hear it because of the game. What are we doing? Join the idol in 2. Okay. I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming. I'm cumin. He sounds like he's over there. Oh, he's in 1. Okay. We should be good then.
Watch your ass.
Watch your ass. I'm watching your ass. Okay. Alright. You... How does this work in? You. Come to me. I'm joking. Oh, yeah! See if war can beat the penis of the day. The penis... Oh, no. Oh, man. The penis of the day is a cheeky 65 inches. Can war get the POTD? Oh, I have this. Idiot. Okay, actually, he's buggering off, so we should be fine. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Oh, he's cheating! Guys, War's cheating. No one say hello to him. Everyone say hello. Oh, also, War, did you tell me what color pussy you wanted? Salmon? I got you. Got you with your salmon-covered pussy. Find a nickel. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Where's the light go? Oh, okay. Swollen! Think of the forehead kiss. See, jail, prison, all of the above. Are there any parts? Oh, what do you have? Aha! Give me those parts, mister. We have 4 out of 10. That's it? That's it? I was so fucking confused. Oh, is it? I haven't really paid attention, Panda fans. All I know is that this guy has, like, the saddest voice lines, and he makes me want to die every single time he speaks. Because he's just so sad. Oh, that was a large battery? Oh, I probably shouldn't have used that. My bad. Well... My man. I try to play along. Oh my god. If I hit a shot every time Pixel had a nickel, I would not be able to stand. Can I go home? He says. No, you can't, lovely. Oh, I still have the stun too. Slay. Can you not? God. Oh, this guy. Ooh. It's a trap. All right. I'm gonna head to the 3rd floor. I don't know. I always like going this route. Like this. I love this route. This route. You know what I mean? A creature of habitat. I'm so funny.
What that?
Ooh, barracuda. Open that nice and smooth. Haha. I passed like a bunch of batteries too. I love this route. See? Shut up. But do I say route or do I say route? I don't remember. I'm such a, what am I? A faker? I don't remember if I say route or route anymore. I don't remember. Oh god. That's a fake okay. I wasn't sure if it was fake crafty or real crafty. Oh. You took my battery. You took my battleship. Ooh! You know what? I got this. I got this. Hold on. Look at this idiot. Spawn camp! Ah, okay. Am I leaving? Things aren't so bad, so I might. Really? Shabby, as long as you were okay. Oh, this might be my LG, though. I was going to do a short stream today. I'm happy that everything's okay, though. Easiest jump of my life. Ooh, was that stuff? Oh, no, it's not. What's this? Unstable heal? Oh, I'll take that instead. Thank you. Oh, here we go. All right, well, actually, I kind of need this, so I just gotta use that. Adrenaline. Okay, there's like 50 adrenalines. There's this. Okay, well, I'll just go and use this upstairs. Ooh, and okay, well, that's fine. Oh, you found stuff. Whoop, whoop. I thought I heard a breather. I was like, don't you dare breathe in and around my face. I think this is the last one. I need one more in here. L. I'm gonna ping that so I know to come back. Wait! Help long jump. Says route? Yeah, it's like, it's either route or route. Alright, you got that one. Ooh! There's another one. This one looks like it's a big boy. That looks large, right? Oh, it's small. Oh, it's a large. It was a large. Whoop! I am almost out of... Oh. I am almost out of battery. Oh, this is so fortunate. I'm trapped. It's either glass or this thing. I know. I'm sorry, sir. Ah, there it is. I know. I'm sorry, sir. I can't see. You're making it very difficult to see, sir. Oh, I almost stood up right there. Did you guys see that? I almost stood up right there. Oh, I can't see. Well, I'm just going to use this large battery. Do you mind? Sorry. Oh. Please don't scream again. That was really annoying. Is this fake? Oh, Shelby's here! Everyone say hello, Shelby! I forgot that you can jump in game. Oh, you probably need this, actually. There you go. Ah! Oh, I don't need that. Thank you, though. Ooh! I'll take that. Here, do you want adrenaline? Give me that! Give me that! Alright, so where is our service area? Actually, the service area only needs $100. So... Ew, did you hear what he said? He said, don't distract me with that salty tongue. Ew, he just said that to his sister. Ew. Rylu? What the fudgy fudge fudge fudge? Thank you for the brand new Prime sub! Enjoy your 90... Count him. Your 90 emotes, your ad-free view, and your sub badge. What the heckies? Ooh, look, 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 look. Hello! That is very, very, very kind. Thank you so much. You know how to do that. But I'm very grateful. Oh, I just ran into a circle. Hey, where's this last thing that we're looking for? Oh, not here. So anyways, I started blasting. Ah! You stream in the early hours of the morning, but oh, you are I'm so sorry. I said I was gonna do a daytime, like a daytime my time stream, which would probably be like, what, evening for you, I assume. And I have yet to do that because my life is a movie. I mean, I'm joking. And I don't know, I just haven't figured it out yet. But that's the plan. The plan is to have a stream time, change the stream time. It's like a stream in a better time. You know what I mean? But seriously, thank you so much for the Prime. That is so heckin' sweet of you. Where is this other one? I've never struggled this much. Oh, enjoy your lurky turkey, Raven! Everybody say bye, Raven. Are overseas? I get it, yeah. I really appreciate that, though. Seriously, thank you so much. Oh, 2 large batteries. Oh. Using up all my batteries. Looking for the fudging... thing. Okay. I have things. I have things. Oh, yes. Yay. Okay. I can't even, like, hear the fuzzies from where this thing could be. Do you guys hear the voices, or is that just in my head? Unstable stun, by the way. That's kind of nice. Another one. Ooh, okay, this is actually going pretty well, right? Because what, this is number 6? I didn't pick up the one, that's 7, okay. I didn't pick up the one that was tagged for me earlier, so... hope someone else got that. Oh, I totally get it, Raven. I totally... oh, she's in. Oh, I found it! No, me. I want to do it. I found it all by myself. Alright, so, that did it all in one go, because that's awesome. Cool. Cool, I did it all by myself. First try. Oh, also, Shapsters, this is introductory scavenger. And we need 3 more... 3 more? 2? Yes, okay, you know. 2 more? 2 more? Oh! Someone has a mechanical component. Okay, so we need 2 more mechanical components, and that's it, right? Or is it 3 more? I don't really know. Get that back. I already have an adrenaline. Okay, so I'm good with what I have then. Shut up, Shadow. Oh, I'm so proud of you. I haven't done any walking for a little bit, unfortunately. Actually, for like almost a week now I haven't done any walking. But I've been doing other workouts, so I guess that's how I'm like making up for it in my head. But I did do some heckin' honkin' hooterin' ab workouts last night, and I feel really good about that. What is that? The LOML, Lily of the Graves. Yo, thank you so much for the raid. Let me find some place to hide. Let me someplace to hide. Let me someplace hide. Me go. Oh, please don't be a pouncer in there. Okay, good. What's up, raiders? Oh my gosh, welcome, Ian. Hi, Lily. I'm so proud of you, Shadowhawk. I hope you're doing so good. Hope you guys had a great weekend. What's up, Lady Demise? Hello, Lily. What's up, DXtreme? Welcome. Any workouts a good workout? I'm trying. I did a lot of lower abs yesterday, so my lower abs are really sore. Oh. Ilka. What's up, Slothbags? I hope you're doing so good, homie. Why say many word when few word do trick? I've only had 1 shot tonight. I've only had 1 shot. Erica, follow Lily. Lily, how was your stream? Welcome in, Raiders. Lily, I have a present for you. Cat. Hello, this is my cat. Her name is Midnight. She looks really angry, but she's not. She's a good girl. She's a good girl. Oh, this is Midnight. Say hi, Midnight. Look up. Look up. Oh, there's her teethers. There's her teethers. She used to sit on the back of my chair when I streamed, back when I had like a pillow. on the back of my chair, but this chair is so skinny now. She's so skinny, so you can't fit anything in the back of the chair. So sad. She was so fun. You played killer. What killers were you playing? El Gato. Hi, Midnight. We love her. Look at her. She saw the results from the poll that chat's been making on who's your favorite pet, Pixel pet, and she saw that she wasn't getting first, and so she's like, I gotta start making appearances more. I think that's what's happening. Oh, thank you, Nubster. Nubster just gave me a battery booster because I'm yapping. With Mina. Shut up. Oh my god. Hell yeah. I need to do some more Chucky stuff. Oh, also, Lady Denise, thank you so much for the 3 stream streak with the fudgies. What's up, Malice Moose? Oh, I love your name. Ooh, I love alliteration. Ooh, it's so good. But welcome in, Raiders. My name is PixelxKitten. I'm a variety streamer who is celebrating their 5-year partner anniversary. I just got partnered 5 years ago yesterday, and I'm going to be celebrating this weekend. But as of right now, we're just playing some Outlast Trials and just getting some Twitch drops and doing some big chilling. And didn't spend 1,000 channel points to make it where Minute was at 0% for votes. See, Leanne Smells, that's why you're my favorite. That's why you're my favorite. Lily! Mwah. Think of the forehead kiss, you. Lily's a real ball and chain, you know? Oh, don't I know it. I'm joking. But everyone go follow Lily. Lily, thank you so much for the raid. From the bottom of my butt, because it's bigger than my heart. Thank you so much for the raid. Please get your post-stream self-care. Go eat, go pee, go poo, go stretch, go drink. If you guys need to go raid and run, please take care of yourselves. Please do so. Oh, actually, while I'm yapping, let me get War's Salmon Pussy for the tier 3. Our last one. Our tier 3. I have more, don't worry. Tier 3 resub. Oh, no. War is here. This guy's just standing right outside my locker. Please don't check this locker. Oh my god, that scared the hell. I don't know if you guys saw. He was about to check the locker. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna make this guy so derpy looking. You guys, oh my god. Or I hope you love him. I made him super derpy. Thank you so much for the follow! I do have anonymous follows on, but I see you, and I appreciate you. Or I hope you love him. Oh, thank you guys so much! Welcome in! As if I didn't think I could make these look any sillier. Thank you so much for the follows. I do have anonymous follows on, and I see you, and I appreciate you. Welcome in, everybody. As if I couldn't make them look any dumber. I have outdone myself. Congratulations, me. Oh my god, Panda Pants, me too! I've had the worst allergies today. I took allergy meds right at the beginning of stream. Oh, look, I did all the stuff. You're welcome. Oh, didn't they give me something? Oh, that's right. Ooh, ooh. Oops. But I took allergy meds right at the beginning of the stream because I was having really rough and tough, oh my god, my butthole. But I was having some really rough allergies. I'm okay now. Ish. Oh, hey, thanks, homie! It was really bad at the beginning of Strem. Thank you for the salmon pussy cat. Did you like it? Thank you! Oh, you know I love it. Oh, you're so good. All right, I have a thing to deposit. Oh, did I do that? Oh, I did do that. Oh no. Oh no. I need to deposit something. Where are the boxes? I should stop sprinting everywhere, actually. I forgot I don't have, like, unlimited sprint. Are you winning? Always. Always, Amise. What's up, Goob? Oh, astrology sign check, guys. What's everyone's astrology sign? Mine is a Libra. What's everyone else? Really? I have other issues. Oh, there we go. Oops. That kind of worked out. Sag? Cancer? Tauros? Capricorn? Sag? My brother's a Sag. Now, what in God's heaven hells did I do? He targeted me, not in my Autism Awareness Month. That's so rude. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, I have another component. Okay. I was about to say, did anyone see how many components we had? But I'm about to do this one. Let's see how many we need left. Ten out of 10! Okay, we did it all. Holy! Scorpio! How ableist of him. I agree. I absolutely agree. Pisces? Leo? Scorpio? He doesn't know very well. Okay. Alright, I'm playing again, guys. I'm playing. I can help. Autism weirdness, he knows where you are. That is very funny. Where are you guys? Oh, I know where you are. Wait, I want to play too. Sorry. Sorry. Wait, I'm playing. Hold on. Let me open up some boxes with my key. Oh, yes! Yes! Health? Yes, please. What's wrong with Scorpio? I personally don't have anything wrong with Scorpio. I have issues with male Pisces. Not any male Pisces in here, are there? That's right. You're Aries? Alright, you can stay. Your hubby is? Well, as long as that's your husband. Not mine. I have an issue with any gender Virgos! No way! I have an issue with Libras? Yeah, fuck those Libras. Is a Libra. Oh, wait, another one? I don't, do we need another? Do we need more? We already have 10, right? We don't need any more, right? Right? I don't know. I'm gonna try it anyway. I don't know. In 2 days? Wait, Pumpkin, what are you gonna do for your birthday? Happy birthday, Pumpkin! Oh, okay. So I guess we don't need to deliver anymore. Oh, I'm a Virgo. I'm my own issue. Okay, I was about to say, because I think you're in September, aren't you? Mayo, male Pisces. Mayo. Oh, no, you know what? Actually, in my adult age, I do like mayonnaise now. Now that I've, like, grown up a little bit. I do enjoy mayonnaise now. I used to not enjoy mayonnaise as a child. Or mustard. Your oldest is a Virgo? I'll teach them. Oh, wrong button, sorry. Use master key. Oh! I'm sorry, Pumpkin. Sorry, that's just my default ass. I'm so sorry. Guys, everyone tell Pumpkin how hot and tall and talented and handsome they are. Because I'm a really bad person, I keep forgetting. If it's any consolation, I forget everything. You know what? And it tastes. And I actually do enjoy some mayonnaise. With mayonnaise instrument. I think they got all of the tapes. They must have, eh? Yeah. I don't think they need me. Or maybe they do need me, and I'm just like blowing them off. That's right. We're playing an introductory. They're fine. Sandwich lube. I'm not gonna lie, you saying sandwich lube and me filling my mouth full of saliva at the same time was probably not the best thing I could have done. Wait, War, you don't like... Wait, War, you don't like, mayo? Oh, well, Shabby, I'm right here.
Happy 5 years, Beach.
Oh, Hockey! Hockey, what the fudgy? Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Thank you so much. Yesterday was my 5-year partner anniversary day, and I'm going to celebrate this weekend. Yep, yep. How you get a superior grilled cheese? Shut up, Salty Loki. I'm gonna need to hear more about this. Tell me more about this. Fuck ranch? Inside of the bread, put the cheese on. Wait, so do I still butter the end of it though? Buck ranch is wild canary. That's what I'm saying. Don't tell Deborah Wild, right? Really, Pumpkin? Oh, wait, I love this for you. Oh, I absolutely love this for you.
I just saw the
Alright, I do have a
skull,
heal.
hee hee.
Why? Oh, that was almost awful, wasn't it? Poor Eric. No, he's okay. Wait, that was 200 bits! What the fudgies? Thank you so much for the 200 bits, Hockey. 300 total. Thank you so much, Hockey. I hope you're doing so good, homie. Thank you so much. What the fudgy fudge? Fudge sticks. War would love buffalo. It was across the board. What's his finances? Wait, what was the joke? I missed it. It went right over my head. It went right over my head. Thank you so much for 300 bits. That is really sweet of you, Hockey. Poor Eric. Shut up! That's really sweet of you, Hockey. You do not need to do that. Also, Melodol. Mwah, think of the forehead kissy. Thank you so much. Hey, sweet baby. You guys want to see him? I think that was going to be my last game. Even though I want to keep playing. I really want to keep playing. But I need to do a short stream today. I need to. Because there's so much I need to do. Pretty pants! Mwah, think of the forehead kiss. Hold on. Let me show you the baby. We'll yap for a little bit. And I'll stay on this category so we can get some. Oh, we could do marbles. We could do marbles. Come here. Wake up. 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 He does this when I'm trying to bring him inside from our walks too when it's nice out. He just dead waits. Cause it's like, Mom, I don't want to go inside. Hello, this is Boo. Boo is a big baby. You're the biggest baby in the world. Oh, do you want to be a baby? Okay, you can be a baby. You don't have to man spread though. Oh, look at that tail. Yeah. I love you. Yeah, sleepy. Big day today, huh? Big day. We had a longer walk than normal, huh? He's just a baby. He's just a sleepy baby. Yeah. I think what's nice about him is that, like, he lets me do this. Like, he's totally okay with me just, like, what am I doing? Just, like, hold him like a baby like this? I don't know. Oh. But the man-spreading, you gotta stop. You guys see his beep-beep. You gotta stop the man-spreading, honey. You gotta stop the man-spreading. It's gross. Oh, you see the kitty cat? Is it midnight? Say hi, midnight. She's a baby. You know who knows how crazy he is? Derpy. Dirtface has met him IRL. And Derpy knows how fucking insane this dog is. Hello, are you insane? Are you insane? Yes, he is. My family knows how crazy he is. He's just a crazy boy. What is this? You little bruise? Did you hurt your paw yesterday? Running around with the brothers? Yeah. Yeah, you're so cute. Scary teeth. That was yours. You can have that back. Do I say want to play some marbles? Want to play some marbles? Oh, big yawn. Big yawn. Want to do some marbles? Nubster and Shabby, thank you so much for playing. 1 million more forehead kisses. Okay. See, this is what happens. So I get cat hair. All right. Well, let's close out of the game. Okay, question. There are Twitch drops for marbles. Do you guys want me to go to marbles, or do you guys want me to stay in Outlast Trials? Meow. I don't know what the drops are for marbles, but I just saw that there were. I really appreciate you. Stop French kissing him. Nope, no hair. Drops? Okay, let's stop with the marbles. My buzz. I don't know what the drops are. Hello, lovely. Marbles on stream. Okay, alright, come back. See, is that better? Is that better, Muppet? A French kissing has me thinking of a scene from Supernatural. What scene? Thank you so much for that. Oh, you get extra treats. That was funny. Have you seen? I have. I didn't see the last season though. And do you have a link? Oh, a link to what? Oh, to the French. Why are my glasses dirty? What did you do? What did you do? Oh, exclamation point play, by the way. Let me get a prediction going too. It ain't me. It ain't me. Why is there dirt on my desk? Oh my god. Boo, what am I gonna do with you? Alright, there we go. Exclamation point play. Get your bulls in here. It's free to play. Oh, wait, hold on. Where's the... Okay, there's everyone's bulls. And then we'll do a prediction to see how many bulls are gonna live or die. We have 13 people in here. Can we get 15? Do I hear 15? Oh, that made it worse. Oh my god. Got 13 people. We get 14. We got 14 people. Do I hear 15? 15, 15. One more person join. One more person. Can we get 15 people in here? 15. Where Bobby made a deal with Crowley and Crowley took a foot. Oh, I remember. Was that when his legs were broken? That's funny. All right. Let's do a prediction. That's very funny. God, I love Crowley so much. How many balls will live? Let's do 0 to 7 and 8 plus. Let's get the odds going in here. Oh wait, I didn't do it too. All right, we got 16 people. Can we get 20? Can we get 4 more people to join? Wait, where is everybody? Oh, there it is. Right? Wait, where is everybody? Oh, there it is. There we go. There we go. There's everybody. Duncan. How many fingers am I holding up? 4. Wait, were you joking? I can't tell. 17. We have 17 balls. Can we get 3 more balls in here? Oh, that's why. Because I'm pressing Alt Tab to get over to the game. That's why. Why'd you use tongue? Such a good show. Oh my god. Guys, 2 more people. Can we get 2 more people? Can we get 20 balls in here? Welcome back, Absolute Ground Zero. No way! No way, we got 20 people. Okay, cool. Wait, is the prediction over? Oh, shoot. Wait, hold on. I think I messed up the prediction. Hold on. I'm deleting it because I don't think I did it for 2 minutes. I usually do it for 2 minutes. I'm so sorry. I think I did it for like 30 seconds. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Hold on. How many malls will live? Sorry. 0 to 7, 8 plus. I think I only did it for 30 seconds. Sorry, guys. And then 2 minutes. Okay. Wait, what? Hold on. It's telling me that I had to end the prediction, but I already ended it. Yeah, you guys get your points back. Okay, there we go. How many times do I have to do this? At this point, I don't even want to do a prediction anymore. How many balls? A lift. There we go. 0 to 7. 8 plus. There we go. Yeah, I did do it for 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. Darkest you can get them. I mean, off is probably the darkest I can get them. I mean, off is probably the darkest. Hold on. Let's see. I mean, because they're neon lights. They don't really get that dark. I can lower the brightness. It's at 9% brightness. Is that what you're looking for? Is off an option? Yeah, I can turn them off. Yeah, okay, they're off. Right? Yeah, they're off. Well. Oh. Drama music. Alright, my lights are off. What's up, plebby? Yo, we got 24 people in here? Guys, get your balls in here. Oh, and make sure, I gotta make sure I have my stream on my phone so I can get my Twitch drops. I don't even know what the Twitch drops are. We've been gold. We guys got like 30 more seconds to get your prediction in. I'm gonna wipe off my lipstick. It's actually starting to bother me. Oh, that feels so good. I've only had my lipstick on for like 4 hours. It's driving me crazy. Oh, look at the pictures in the bot chat! Oh my god, Loki! There's this one. This one. Oh my god. I don't know if I know that one, Loki. Alright. Alright. Got 24 balls in here. Thank you, Alice! Thank you, Alice. We're gonna be celebrating this weekend. Looks like our ghost ball is Kyle at 1:35. Kyle is here. Oh, wait, no. That's Kyle's ghost ball. Kyle's not here. Kyle is still eating his Taco Bell. I was gonna say, can he get keep his streak? Oh, I started to get a really bad headache right now. Oi, ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oi, 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 oi. Not me like needing to do stuff after this, like editing. Duncan. Oh, I better not get a headache. He's very sad. Whoa, Duncan's cheating. I don't know if I know that one. Well, Leon's phone's cheating. Okay, anyone who's in first is cheating. Unless it's me. Okay, don't look at how far back I am. I need someone to start blowing up. This level's too easy. No one's dying. Nikki! Nikki's cheating! Oh my god. Oh, people are definitely gonna die. Oh, yes. Yes! Oh! Oh, Nikki. Oh! 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 Oh, this is a good level. Oh, I love a level where everyone starts dying. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Pixel, Pixel, Pixel. Damn it. Oh, oh, we're almost. Oh, we gotta see the winner. Oh, Rylu, easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Alice is still stuck in the vortex. No way. Oh, war. You were literally like, oh, so close. Oh, they're so close to get it. We're like right in the cusp of the prediction too. It's 0 to 7 or 8 plus is the prediction. So it all comes down to Alice with a big booty and Panda Pants party. The fire's coming! Panda Pants, you hold the power of the prediction in your balls. So Panda Pants, I'm gonna need you. I don't know, Loki. That fire's coming. Oh, Panda Pants. Oh, Panda Pants. Oh, Panda better say, put your pants on, Panda Pants. Oh my god. No way. No way. No way. Photo finish. Oh, wait. Ow. No. This is it. I have no clue what you were stuck on either. You were just chilling. That was very exciting. That went from everybody living to only 6 people living. No, 6 or 7 people lived. So 0 to 7 people lived. Look at this split. 6.5 thousand channel points to 40.5 thousand channel points. Someone's about to get a big old payout. Holy. Did you really? That's what you get for people who prime sub here, right, guys? I'm joking. I'm joking. For legal reasons, that was a joke. All right, new prediction. Same thing. 0 to 7 or 8 plus. We'll keep it at that. We'll keep it 0 to 7, 8 plus. All right, and then let's do another random track. Rigged. Really, Loki? For channel points? Win? Oh, I think we just did this level the other day, but I don't remember what. I don't remember this one. Oh, I remember this one. I remember this one. All right, guys. Exclamation point play. Get your balls. You know, while you guys are doing that, I want to see what the I want to see what the drops are. View rewards drops. Enemies. Control F. Marbles. Okay. Hello. Marbles. Yo, my headache is killing me. Rewards for community. Watch for 15 minutes. Oh! If someone purchases a sub or gifts a sub, you can get a red and white racing helmet. But it's not a badge. We like those for Twitch badges. Watch for 15 minutes and claim the 5 community coins. And watch for an hour for 15... Okay, we're probably not going to do that. We'll probably just be at the 15 minutes. So you get 5 community coins just for watching for 15 minutes. You know, it's something. Something, something. I know you are more. Sorry, my PC is like shutting off right now. Oh. There we go. Oh, we need our balls to lock it. We got 18 balls. Can we get 2 more people for exclamation point play? I don't know. I don't know what community coins are, but I think it's like some sort of currency to... I don't know. Like Duncan has like Duncan, sorry. Like Duncan has like all this stuff. I don't know if that's like what community coins do. Like he's got like a little I think he's got like a little plumber's crack. Yeah, he's got like a little plumber's butt. So I don't know. I don't know, maybe. All right, one more ball. Can we get one more? I got 10 seconds. You guys got. Yes! We got 25 people in here. It's pretty skewed as far as the prediction goes, but you never know. Because I'm pretty sure this level's a little rough, isn't it? Spades finished at 2 minutes and 27 seconds. I'm pretty sure this one has lasers. Oh, you know what? I think I do remember a lot of people living with this one. I think, because I wanted more people to die, but not a lot of people died, and I was really sad about it. Oh, I think. Those are guns? Oh, I see. Okay. I need to, I remember to avoid going in there, because that, like, hurt my brain when I went in there. So I'm not going in that tunnel, because that hurt my brain. That hurt my face. My brain holes when I went in there. Oh! There's ghost spades. Oh! And there's real spades! No way. Spades, can you beat your own title? That's the question. What's up, Donkey Dean? What's up, Elastic? Guys, happy Monday. Sorry for the short stream today. Well, I mean, actually, we're about to hit 4 hours, so I guess it's not too bad, eh? You played basketball today? My buddy who was born without shins, his name is Tony. Shut up. Shut up. You almost got me. You literally almost got me. Almost got me. Oh, wait, that's Ghost Spades. We want to go down here at the real people. Oh, man, you almost got me. I was going to be like, oh, my God, that sounds like so... Oh, okay. I figured it out. You mean to go and touch grass? Oh, I don't know. Don't go too far to touch grass. I'm doing it right, Donkey. My head started hurting, like, really badly out of nowhere just now, so... Oh, that's all right, Zero. That's all right. Oh. Oh. Dragon? Supernova? Loki? Races this way? They just, like, propelled backwards. Whoa! Oh, sorry. Everyone's names are gone. Sorry. I had to go accept that message. Ravens in first? I do what I want. Yes, there's the lasers that don't kill anybody. Am I winning? Yes. But my head is actually really starting to hurt. Like, it's like pissing me off, kind of hurt. Like, you know when you stub your toe? Oh, Lily died. Yes! Not that Lily died, but that people are dying. I like when people start dying because it makes the game more exciting. Liar! Liar, liar. Okay, what did Lily die on? What? Oh! I just like when people start dying, you know? It makes me excited. Oh! Oh, that's way too... Oh, someone better start burning. Come on! Come on! Oh! Oh! Get War! Get him! Get him! Get him! This is the worst laser. This is exactly what happened last time. The laser literally didn't kill anybody. It's so boring. Alright, so Leon's Moans has the skinniest balls that I've ever seen. Get fucked, Flicky. There's no way. Only 2 people died. Lily from from mystery illness, and then Flicky got right at the end. That was funny, Flicky. For what it's worth, you deserve first because that was really funny. Congrats, Raven! So so it's 26.6 thousand points to 32.5 and 32.5 thousand points won. GG's. GG's. I'm not gonna lie, I would do another one. Hi, Kishu! Kishu, mwah, think of the forehead kissy. I would do another one, but my head hurts so much right now that I'm actually, like, getting, like, annoyed. You know, you guys know when you, like, stub your toe and just pisses you off? That's where I'm at right now. I didn't stub my toe, but, like, why does my head hurt so much? It hurts. And if you guys remember what happened, what was it, last month? Oh, God. Where I had a headache for, 2.5 weeks straight? And it was like a really aggressive headache for 2.5 weeks straight. Anytime I get a headache, I get really nervous. I'm just like, oh, this is it. This is how I die. Like, so I'm stressed out. Stubbed your head, yeah. Do you really? Absolute shut up. Yeah, I'm gonna take off my headset. I'm gonna take off the sweater. Because maybe, like, the neck rubbing up here is bothering me. I don't know. I get into some, like, really cozy clothes or something. And I don't know. Oh! What are you doing? What are you up to? Understand. Trying too hard to be... Oh, you know what? I haven't rated this person in a minute. Let's rate this person. We're just talking about him. No, thank you guys! Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Oh, I gotta stop. If this headache goes longer than, like, 10 minutes, I'm gonna start beating people up. Because there's people I'm gonna message back. There's emails I'm gonna send. There's videos I'm gonna edit. Oh God. I was literally just thinking that routine. Because you know what? Taking gummies does help when I'm doing emails and messages. Routine, you're literally on the top of my list to message back. Shut the front toast up. And Amber Maxes! This is why I keep you around. Literally, as soon as the sponsor stream is over, all right? This is like I'm saying this authentically. When the headache starts coming, the Amber Maxes go on. Also, Escape, mwah, Kiki, mwah, Kishu, did I do a kissy? Mwah. Your girl is wasted. I read like a little bit, but I didn't read a lot of it, especially since I saw something was nice being said. I was like, well, I'm gonna save that for later. There's a lot I have to catch up and mustard on. All right. We're gonna send the raid over to Dirtface. I haven't been able to raid Dirtby for a while, so why the fuck not? He's also doing some Overwatch. Yippee! Were you really? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do probably a Delta 9. I think I'm gonna do a Delta 9. One of my Space Panda gummies, Pixel Lime flavored. Yep. Use code KID for 30% off. No, are you kidding me? Lily, no you. Thank you guys so much for the raids, the follows, the wallows, the lurkies, the turkeys, the subbies, the wubbies, the titties, the bitties. And thank you guys for the congratulations on my 5-year partner anniversary. Just hit partner yesterday for 5 years, and we're going to celebrate this weekend. Whoop, whoop. But I hope you guys had the best night ever. Thank you guys so much for being here. Truly, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Rat. Kaya, happy birthday. Aya, happy birthday. I love you, homie. Yeah, we're gonna send the raid over to Jerkface. Guys, tell the mods how hot and tall and talented and handsome they are. Mods, I literally could not do this without you. Yo, raise your hand if you've been here since before I was partnered. Like, not like in any, like, not just like, oh, Rootsy, you're so hot. It's not a bad thing if you weren't, but just like, you know, a little flex if you've been here since before I was partnered, you know? I know Roots has been here since before I was partnered. Very, very cool. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Supernova. Mods, I love you. Fake fan, I'm a fraud. Shadowhawk's been here. Yeah! War, exclamation point, self-report. I'm joking. I love you guys so much. Raid message, I got you. I got you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, tell the mods how hot and tall and talented they are. Tell Dirtface how hot and tall and talented he is. Don't forget, G Fuel Code Kitten, Space Panda Code Kitten, Cosmic Candles Code Kitten. I'm gonna go get a gummy. Oh, war. I hope you guys have the best night ever. Seriously, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, especially in the short stream. I always get nervous when I do short streams, but you guys make me feel so good. Oh, and for coffee! See, sushi guys like keep you around. Thank you, sushi guy. Yeah, and coffee. Thank you, homie. All right, have the best night ever. Tell Drippy how hot he is. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Yo, yeah. I thought that was the wrong scene. I'm sorry. I gotta go to bed. Red's queen of the... Oh!